Hello everyone and welcome back to Laurence Plays, and it's a Wednesday, so we're going to be playing some Foundry. Yes we are. And I had quite a good stream last week. I managed to get all of my, well, at least all of the resource shortages that I was having sorted out, at least for now. So we've got massive quantities of iron being produced in this blast furnace over here, massive quantities of copper being produced down here, and they're all being piped up and into the main factory area over here, and that seems to be keeping things quite happy. Also got a load of stone being dug up here, which is then being made into glass along here. And then there was an oil crisis as well, because not only had this patch dried up, which it did quite a long time ago, then this patch dried up as well. So I've now run an extra long pipe, which is this purple thing you can see here, all the way down here to this patch. So that's going to keep us going for a little while, I hope. So we'll assume, we'll just expect and hope that that's going to be all right. In the meantime, back over here in the main factory, I built up another couple of bot types down there, and I put in one of these spaceports to take those up, and I'm still waiting for for my other bots to carry on cleaning up this area here, because unfortunately my bus has expanded into this mountain, and so the mountain has to be moved out of the way. And yes, I could go in and help a little bit, but it's easier to let the bots do all of the hard work of the digging for me. That said, I could go and have some more of these ships that's dropping them in, and then things would be a little bit quicker. As it is, we're seeing, I mean, yes, they are chewing their way through the rock, and for some reason I don't seem to have selected all of this area, so let's improve that a little bit. But basically, yeah, they're digging all this up, and they're doing a pretty good job of it, I'd say. So I want to go from there. No, I don't. I want to go from there to out here somewhere. Okay, I can't go quite all the way. We'll go to there, and then from there I can select up to the sky. And there we go, that's selected this whole area now. So the bots will come in, they'll nibble all of this up. And eventually they'll get down there and I'll be able to put in another launch point. Hello everybody! So who have we got? Hello Regular, well done for getting in before the bot, very impressive. Hello Madman, hello hello Covers, and hello Board Easy, welcome one and all. Yes, the factory is always hungry, although that said, I seem to have made enough of these little cleaning robot guys, so that's going quite well. And then over here we've got, I think these are snack bots, and I don't know quite what a snack bot is. I guess maybe it brings you food. Oh, yeah, it's got toaster on it. So yes, it brings you your breakfast. It brings you toast and coffee or something like that. In fact, yes, is that a mug? Yes, it is indeed. This is a breakfast robot. It brings you toast and coffee. Lovely, except I don't like coffee. So I need to have another one of these things over here to allow us to launch those bots off up into space for anyone who wants them to buy them. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to use my personal drones to clear out this bit like this. And these guys are much more directable than the ones that come out of the big spaceship, out of the big aircraft things. So they're going to be great for just pulling out a little bit of this in quite a targeted way, like that. That'll do. That's quite enough. So pull all of that out, and now I can put in some more of this. And this needs to be 10 wide for one of these things. I remember that much. 10. There we go. Time to laser I could laser the rest of the mountain, but to be honest, it's a lot easier to use to let the bots do it. And they're doing quite a good, if slightly slow job, and they tend to be a lot less accidentally destructive than the lasers do. Oh, I've run out of shipping pads. Let's go and get some more of those. So the laser is kind of fun, and I could use it quite a bit on this to sort of nibble away at it and give them slightly less work to do. But I just have this horrible feeling that I'd end up overshooting, literally, and blowing a load of it up. That's not where I get my shipping pads from. It's over here somewhere in the dark down here. Maybe another thing I should do is come through and put some more lights in, although I do have my torch, so it's not the end of the world. Right, so there's one. Oh, actually, I can just take that because there are already 3 of the emergency beacons. In fact, let's take another one because I'm probably going to need another one fairly soon. A bot made of protein and carb fillers. Yeah, that'd be nice. And actually, the bot itself is the snack. That's a nice idea. I see where you're going with that, and I'm mildly disturbed. But that's not your problem. I've been mildly disturbed for quite a long time. Right, so I can drop that in there. Then come around here and boop it. I want you to transport from factory to the space station, and you're going to be taking the toaster bots. Where's the toaster bot? There's the toaster bot. Nom nom nom, snack bot. Confirm. Make that an arbitrarily large number just to make sure we actually fill the ships up properly, and we'll confirm that as well. Right, now I come over here and I go, yes, I would like some more belt, and I want to feed it straight. No, not that way. Don't be silly. Do the belt. There we go. That's better. And then we can have that come across here and go in there like that. Shoop. There go the bots. And then more bots will pour out of these machines because they'll have filled their internal buffers up. So there's going to be quite a lot of extra spare ones. But that's a sort of a good thing because it means we can feed out a decent number of them and have them just pour into this thing like... Oh. Not like that. Has to go in on the other side because it's an input, so it has to go in like that. There we go. Now in they flow, just like that. And you can see the hopper filling up there nicely. In fact, I should come down here and do a manage inventory and dump the ones I just picked up into there. There they are. Before the building fills up and I don't have anywhere to put them. Right, so there we go. That's that sorted. Now the next thing is that this is too slow. This digging process over here is much too slow. So I want to make this faster, and that means I need more of those yellow spaceships or yellow aircraft that fly over. So let's go and get some more of the construction drone launch silo doobies, and there they are somewhere. I don't think they're this far up. Are they? Oh, I don't know. Transport. Oh, is it? Are you a transport ship? No, but it's close. Is it you? Yes, this one. So I want several of these. Give me that. It's short of something. I bet it's the. I bet I need to go and get some more maintenance drones. Let's put this one down first, and then go and get some more maintenance drones so I can make more. And you can see I've got landing zones for 4 of them along here, where they'll fly in, they'll unload all of the junk they've been picking up from, well, by digging, dump it onto this belt here, and then that gets taken away and put into a storage box over here, which is, I mean, it's getting kind of full, but not of anything that actually matters. Let's destroy all the seeds that have been picked up and put in here because that'll create a bit of extra space. And I could probably get rid of all the biomass as well and just free up. There we go. There's loads of space in there now because they've made the stack size for all the different types of dirt except for one of them ludicrously large, so you can fit enormous quantities of it into a storage bin like this, which is a good thing because otherwise, what the hell would you do with it? I'd have to blow it all up or something, and that'd get messy very quickly. So the other thing I could do, I suppose, is upgrade this to a blue belt because this does seem to be the limiting factor on how fast this whole system is able to run. So let's do that. I would like to have one of those, and I would like to not run into this sort of error. Right, there we go. I can upgrade that, and I can upgrade that, and that'll double the speed that we can pull this all this junk out at. I will then... Oh, these don't need to be put on foundation. Interesting. Okay. Well, in that case, we'll just extend this another mile or 2 this way and then realise there's a load of stuff in the way. So I'll do that and then switch over to the laser and go pew and pew. What other games allow you to shoot plants and blow them up like this? And then I can fill these. Oh, I can fill these gaps in like that and that. I can put in another one of these guys, but I'll put this one in the other way round, like this. Boink, there's one of those. And then I can get some more belt from here. I've only got 18 of them left. Okay, this will have to be a green belt then, because I just don't have enough of the blues. Bring it, at the moment anyway, and then bring that all the way around here to there. And then I'm going to need to carry on extending this cable with the pylons, so we'll go from there to, I guess, here. And then we can hook up to... Oh, we hooked up over there, okay. Hook up from there to there. Alright, and now it's an extra drone ship there. So I now need to go and get some more of the maintenance drones. Do I need to program you? Let's go and find out. Status, question mark. Why are you question marking? Why are you... Oh, that's help. Right. Construction enabled, mining enabled. Right. Go on then. Off you go. Go and do some mining. There's loads of it to be done. I don't know why it's just sitting there. We'll ignore it for the moment, and then maybe it'll fly off in a bit. So we can still see the stone is still pouring out of here. That is I think. Yes, there's still stone pouring out of these two, which means these two over here can't empty. So maybe I need additional unloading capacity over here. Perhaps that's something I should work on. In fact, that'd be fairly easy, because all I need to do is come and put it. I'll do. No, not that. I'll do it with a green belt for now, and then we'll upgrade it in a bit. But I could have a green belt running around here like this to here, and then up to here, and then another one of those there. And then if I come over here and okay, it's run out now. But all I would need to do is pull up that and that and that, and then put in an additional piece of belt there. And you know what? That might be. I might have enough blue belts to upgrade that one. 20 might be sufficient. It is not sufficient, but it's very, very close. Great. Right. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, British comedy is, of course, the best. So I can't blame you for being somewhat impressed by it and it having a major effect on you, should we say? I mean, there are some good American sitcoms out there. I won't deny it. Are these the right sort of bots? Let's go check. But the British ones tend to be a bit sort of. They have the jokes are a bit more crammed in. There's a lot more of them per sort of thing that you per minute of show, should we say? All right, so there we go. Let's take 10 out of there and 6 out of there. That'll do for a little while at least. True. I guess you can blow up all kinds of things in Factorio with a bit of effort, but it's not quite the same somehow. Where was I? No, it wasn't over here. Was it that one? Yes, it's this one. Have some stuff. There we go. And more stuff. Did that get rid of all of my all the drones I picked up? Yes, it did. Okay, good. So now we can make at least a couple more. Yeah, we were going to be able to make exactly 2 more. But I'll go over and put in the one extra one we've made. I think adding in an additional 2 of these things over here for now is probably going to be sufficient. Right. Oh, I didn't get any more blue belts. I should have done that. Never mind. Why is that an invalid copy target? I'm just too far away. Okay. And then extend that a bit further until it goes bump against that tree, I guess, and then we'll deal with the tree later. Okay. So now I need to put another one of these the other way around because I'll put this one here. Then it can unload onto exactly the same output thing over there. I can then also link up the power from here to here. Lovely. And right, that's another one. So that's going to increase by 50. That's going to increase my mining rate by 50% because I've gone from 4 to 6. That's a pretty good improvement. And then I can come over here. I could even lend a hand myself if I wanted to, but I probably won't because I'm far too lazy for that sort of thing. I don't remember how much Police Squad I've watched. I've definitely watched the Naked Gun films, which are, of course, sort of loosely based on Police Squad. Yeah, that's true. They are a sort of a very different, almost a different genre of show to your average American sitcom, I'd say. There we go. Knock that bit out. And you know what? I'm just going to use the traditional old-fashioned laser to take out the rest of this. Because it's sticking out and that kind of offends me. Okay, we'll do that way, I guess. I don't like it when you get random little bits of rock sticking out into the sky, so I'm going to try and preempt that a little bit. There we go, that's that. Ooh. Hey, that would have been good from underneath. We'll do it from above instead. Doom and doom and doom. There we go. So that's cleared out the area above those. So this is the new sort of my new next area of expansion. And for my next trick, I intend to make another one of these assembly lines running along here, making another type of big robot. However, before that, since I've now started producing snack and cleaning bots. The cleaning bots aren't being made very quickly. Oh, there's a shortage of green circuits. All right, let's go and investigate. So there's some green circuits flowing in. Is this a full belt and we're just using it all up because the belt is too slow? I could believe that. Yeah, we've got some red belts in here that are too slow. Okay, let's upgrade this entire thing to green belts because I think at this stage if I'm going to go in and upgrade something, I might as well upgrade it all the way to green. There's no point in faffing around with intermediates. Now, where do green circuits find their way out? Okay, so there's some down there. Let's do that then. There we go. And they're coming from... they're coming from here. And we already have a green belt coming in here, so that's probably all right then. So somewhere over here, the green belts are... The green circuits are... Yes, they're coming along there. And then, right, they're getting into a red splitter here, and that's why we're having all these problems. So let's upgrade you. And then let's upgrade you. And you. And you. There we go. Things are going a lot better now. We're getting a lot... We'll speed you up as well, because there seems to be a shortage down there. Okay, there we go. So that's caught up. That's excellent. So along here, green, 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 and then we start to run into problems again. So yeah, one of the things this game doesn't have is a belt upgrader that will go through the through the splitter, or we'll get splitters on the ends of a belt upgrade section, which is a bit of a shame. But well, you can't have everything. But there's no point in having a green belt feeding into a red splitter. It just won't work. But now, yeah, that's starting to back up nicely along there now. We've got enough pulled through that hopefully things will start to... We can now at least have a full red belt going in here. And that means we'll start being able to make the cleaning bots a little bit more quickly and efficiently. Okay. So let's just sort of follow this back and make sure that it does get to a stage where it sort of is nice and full. And it's still flowing constantly along here. Oh, and we've run out. Oh, good. Just what I wanted to see. Right, well I guess in that case, let's have a quick look over here. So we've got the green circuits are brought in by an aircraft that I think lands here. And then they're pumped out from here onto a belt, and then they're taken off into the factory, as you've seen. And apparently, the rate we're bringing them in with that aircraft, not sufficient, because we've run out. So I guess let's go over and have a look at the area where we're making them. And that's over here. So I've discovered there is an auto run feature in this game. I'll need to turn always run on if I want to be able, or at least run toggle on if I want to use it properly. But this means I can have, look, no hands, and my robot is still moving. But yeah, I won't be doing that all that often. Right. Yeah, I do tend to be quite fond of puns myself, mostly because of the sort of reactions I tend to get from people when I make them. You know what they say, a good pun is its own reword. Ooh, and the game is struggling to load in quickly enough. That's problematic. I didn't fly over here that quickly, and I have just upgraded my computer, so it shouldn't be struggling, but apparently it is. Okay, so over here we have, this is the copper blast furnace, where we're bringing in massive quantities of copper from the core mine under there, and then pumping it out here as molten copper, which can then be turned into copper and passed along these belts here. However, I noticed that we've got about 50% of each of these two lanes running, about 75% of this one, and 100% of this one. And this one is the one that is being fed straight off to make the green circuits. And I suspect that might be where the problem's coming from. Maybe I need a little bit more than one green belt of copper in order to make green circuits. If we look along here, then we've got all. I think this first block up to here, where the plastic is being brought in, those are turning the copper into electronic components. Then beyond that, we're turning those electronic components into green circuits. But you'll notice that only a relatively small number of these are running. So it seems we need to have a lot more. We need a lot more copper coming in, and we need a lot more machines turning that copper into electronic components. So that's fun. And then over here, well, the green circuits are trickling out, going into a box there. They're being loaded into this aeroplane. The aeroplane is mostly full, but not remotely. It's only 84% full, so that's not remotely full enough. It's not enough. We need it to be flying over there and taking the green circuits over to be unloaded and used over there in the rest of the factory. And so, I think that means I'm going to need to speed this up. Unfortunately, the limiting factor here is going to be the rate that this copper is coming in at. Fortunately, over here, we have quite a lot more capacity. So, based on the fact that these are all running at sub 50% speed, well, there's definitely another row's worth of capacity here, I reckon. So I think I can get another green belt of copper coming through here. Now, getting that green belt to here is going to be a little bit awkward. So what I think I'll do is put splitters on both of these and pull out any excess. So I'll prioritise what's going into the elevator here, sure. But then I'll pull out any excess can be taken over and put onto that belt. So that's going to mean cutting this. Let's do it a little bit further up. So I know I've got plenty of room for what I'm about to do. Let's cut that there and there, and then put in splitters there and there. Okay, nice. Then I can put in. Let's have that just go straight to there, and then I can pull out that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Right. Yeah, restocking on belt 4s probably would have been a good idea. Oh well, never mind. Right, and then from here, these two can both go up one. Not there. Do what I mean, not what I say. There we go. And then I'll bring these out over the top of here and then down to over there. Actually, I could just bring these over and merge them here, couldn't I? So I bring that to here. And this one to here. And then grab that. No, grab that and put it on the output of the. Put it on the output of these two. Come on. There we go. And then you guys, you need to prioritise your output to that side, yes, and that side. There we go. Because I don't want to deprive the main factory of its copper, but I do want to have any extra copper that we're making being brought out over this way and onto this belt. I don't know if this is going to actually be enough for no. There. I don't know if this is going to be enough to fill up an entire belt, but we'll see how it goes. The problem with one of the problems with this game is all of the buildings have absolutely enormous output buffers, which means that when you do something like this, and I know that True's in the way, I'll go back and sort that in a moment. When you do something like this, it takes quite a long time for it to be visible whether it's been fixed or not. What the hell has happened here? Why has that gone up again? What are you playing at? Were you trying to go over these trees? So it's going to be quite a long time until all of the resources that are tied up in the... It's going to be quite a long time until we can find out whether we've got enough copper available, or whether it's just because we had a load buffered in all of the machines back there. But we'll find out. And actually, it shouldn't matter, because it should always be a green belt able to come out of those. So even if we are emptying buffers, that shouldn't be a problem. Right, so the next thing is over here. We want to make more electronics. No, we want to make more electronic components. So this is time for a copy paste. And from here, we'll take from there to there, and to there, and we'll do a copy and place, and we'll extend it this way one notch, boink, like that. And then we'll have a look at the the panel, and we'll say we want to clear out all of the terrain and all the decor that's in the way, and then I would like to build that, and we'll find out how much stuff I'm missing. Loaders, in fact, basically one or two of everything, small numbers of everything. Okay, well, so there's conveyor 1 and then conveyor 2. I'll go through and try and upgrade the conveyors, I suspect. That's probably going to be the easiest way to sort that. The next fiddly bit is going to be getting all of the stuff out at the other end, but we'll see what we can do about that. Burn that bridge when we come to it, as I say. I am definitely going to need to go back and get additional pylons. No, additional inserters, though, because that is definitely a problem. Right, so that goes there. So the inputs of coppers are, in fact, the green cables, as you'd expect. Okay, good. I don't mean cables. I mean belts. I didn't want that there. I actually need that to be all the way back here, because then I can put in 2 of these like this, and that'll be in exactly the right place to then feed the copper in there like that. And also I'll go from there. We'll go over to here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So go to there. I need to laze that tree. or plant or whatever it is, like that. And then we'll go from here, we'll go up twice, and then I said up twice. Okay, that isn't working. Hello Mark, welcome. Yeah, I thought I'd scaled everything to be appropriate, but apparently I hadn't. So there's a bit of a fail there. No, not that. Somehow I thought I'd built these machines to be producing the electronic components at the same rate that these were going to be using up to make green circuits, but I've clearly got the maths very, very wrong, because they aren't. Maybe I got the ratios the wrong way round or something daft like that, or I didn't take into account I didn't take something into account anyway, and I don't really know what, and I'm not sure what to do about that. I'm also not sure how I'm going to get these. These ones are okay actually. For the first set, I can just bring a belt over from here, like this, through this gap, and plug it in there. Don't go up. Don't try and go over a plant. It's not going to work. We'll get rid of these trees, like that and that. I'll bring this through here. This one's going to be okay because I can just side load it like that, as long as I then remove. Oh dear, remove that. I think I just sent some copper down the belt here. We'll go and get it from the other end in a minute. That's fine. So yeah, when this starts, oh yeah, I've run out of belts, haven't I? So then we want to. Do I have any yellows left? I do. So we'll just turn this into yellow, and then from there we'll extend this all the way along, because why not? So that can go all the way to there. That'll be my cables, and then we should. Oh, there's a. Why is that? Why did that not get taken out? Given it was right in the middle of the area I pasted. That's weird. Okay, never mind. That's not the reason why. Just do that. There we go. So now the copper's running through there, so that's fine. And so there we go. There we go. We've got some components appearing now. Yeah, and there's another one. Did I not? I'm sure I removed decor. Did I remove decor and not trees or something ridiculous like that? Let's try this. So confirm paste. Oh no, I've run out of that machine. I've run out of machine. That's why. And inserters as well. We'll sort that one out in a moment. So there we go. We've got at least some electronic components and some copper. Why is this copper making it onto this belt? Oh, from here. There we go. So we've got some electronic components coming through here. That's good. That's going to help quite a bit. They'll fill in the gaps along here. Maybe I'll upgrade this to a green belt, because if it could go a bit faster, then we'll be able to get these parts through a little bit more. Yeah, a little more like that. Then I'll fly down into the end over here, where there should be there's lots of copper coming through. Tidied. Lovely. So that will have given us a 50% increase on the rate of production of the green circuit. And now we can see that, yeah, maybe I think that's slightly more. That's about half, maybe slightly more than half of the machines are working along here. So that has helped quite a bit. However, I still need to get this side working for one thing. And there's another tree in the way. I must have just not removed decor properly. There we go. Better. Now I've got a yellow belt running through there, and there's just about enough red belt along here. That should be all right. But this is where we're missing all of the all of the long the short inserters, I think, to take the copper in. Although some of them are. Oh, yeah. I removed that, but then I pasted it again. It will go put back in. So I'm going to have to come down here again and clean this up once more. At least with a nice fast belt, it's nice and quick to clean them all up. Any more? No, that seems to be it. Okay, so that's a little bit better. And I'm just going to give you my copper. Yeah, have some of that. 110, that's a weird number. Can I give the next one any? No, that was all my copper. Okay, cool. So, there is eventually going to be this yellow belt. Actually, this yellow belt is going to be chucking them onto the same one, so they'll actually just all go onto here. And since we've got some spare machines down there, that's actually fine. Oh, I thought I did click clear decor, but I obviously didn't. I must have misclicked it. Yeah, maybe it didn't register my click. Okay, so we've got a load of copper. This is now essentially working. I just need to finish off this bank of machines in order to get that side up to full speed and use the other half of this belt. But that looks pretty good. So let's go and get some more supplies. And this is it's a little bit of a trek back over to the main mall area to go and pick up all the bits and pieces that I'm going to need. But never mind, we've got each other to talk to, and there's plenty of stuff. There's plenty of things to see on the way over, like some trees and a pond and a hill and some pylons and a spaceship launch platform. I must be nearly back. And a gradually shrinking mountain over here as well. That's going quite well. It's getting smaller and smaller every time we go past. Jet fuel level isn't doing too badly. I've got 3,500 or 3.5 gigajoules, so that should keep me going for at least a little bit longer. I tend to think about restocking when I get below 1 gigajoule, or when I get certainly if I get a lot below 1 gigajoule. Right. So over here, I would like to have some inserters, please. Yoink. While I'm at it, I would also like to have some medium inserters, but I think I've still got plenty of long inserters. That's still up at 100. I've got lots and lots of green belts. I think some more blue belts would be a good idea, and maybe even some more yellows. Let's see. I'll get some more greens, because I do get through a lot of greens generally, and that's this box here. So let's take another stack of greens and a stack of blues, and that's probably going to be enough of those. Then I'm also going to want more assembly machines. So we're using yellow ones over there, which is a bit of a shame, but never mind. Where are you coming from? You're coming from this machine here. So I can grab some, yes, assembler 2s out of there. No, I can't, because I picked up a load of trash. Lovely. Is there any other miscellaneous gunge that I don't want? I don't want those assembler 1s. Let's put them in this. Let's go have some of that and give me some of that. There we go. So that feels like a good exchange. What else was I missing from the paste? So, assembler 2's got more of those. Loader's got more of those. Loader second lane, loader third lane. I've got enough of those, surely. Conveyor 3's. Conveyor 1's I don't care about. I've got the conveyor 3's. I've got the conveyor 2's. So I think I'm probably good. Now, is there anything else that I want to have that I've run out of? I'm running a little bit low on foundation, actually. Let's get another stack or 2 of that. I do get through this stuff at quite the rate. Got loads of cable, got a decent number of pylons. Tier 3 splitters. Where are they? Oh, they're under some. They're up there. Oh yeah, you're right. I should get some more of them. In fact, I should offload my red belts, because I think I don't want to use them. So let's unload those into here. Have those. I clicked the wrong button. Have those. Have those. 298. Jeez. Have those. That's something else. Right, and then yes, tier 3 splitter. Nope, gone too far. Tier 3 splitters would be here, probably here. Yes. Gimme. Right, so now presumably have rather a lot of. Movements 4, 3, 2, 4, 3. I've got rather lots of slope 3s, which is a bit of a mistake. I mean, that's because I grabbed from the wrong machine then, but yeah, whatever. So can we get rid of some of those into here? Yes, probably. Manage inventory. I would like to put those 6 into here because I'm carrying too many and it's taking up inventory space. There we go. That's a bit neater. And having got rid of a load of of red belts, is going to make things a little bit tidier and mean I don't run out of space quite so soon. So I think that's a worthwhile improvement and loading up there. Yeah, if I forget to refuel, then it's going to be a long run back, and I'll try and find things to talk about to distract you on the way through. Right, let's go and finish that green circuit upgrade off. And in fact, on the way over, let's mark a bit more of this mountain for deconstruction, because the bots are doing quite well and have nearly finished. And I want to keep them busy because they're good bots, but they need to be kept out of trouble. So we'll go from there to... how far out are we going? There, I guess. We'll take a bite out of the mountain like that. It doesn't go quite far enough across, but never mind. It's going to be an improvement nonetheless, and it'll keep the bots out of trouble. Right. So back over this time. Hopefully, I've now got everything I could possibly want, and I'll try not to dump a load more copper onto the red belt, onto the belt, taking the green circuits away, because that's just a bit clumsy. Alright, there's my copper mine. My green circuit production is... oh yeah, there it is, just beyond. In fact, you know what? I am going to do another paste, and then I'm going to quickly fix that. In fact, I could put in a belt here like that, and then it won't be able to paste. So now I can safely do a open panel and confirm paste. And nothing works. Great. No, that's a bit harsh. I think it actually is working. It just complained about a load of stuff because I'd put other belts in the way and upgraded things, and it didn't like that very much. Like over here, where there's all this yellow belt on the ground, which is apparently a little bit unnecessary. So, most important thing now, all the machines are working. So that means we have a quantity of the belt of this components being produced. They're coming out here. This belt is no longer fast enough, so this is going to need an upgrade to green, like so. And now this one isn't fast enough. Oh, and actually it probably is. Yeah, I think it actually is. Yeah, that's depleted now, and that's... yeah. Okay, so there we go. We're now getting all of those being pushed down here, and that means we've got now virtually all of these machines running. And maybe once it's pumped through a little, once it's run a little bit, we'll get all of the ones on this side running. So that means if I want to get all of this side running, I need another copy of this, and then I somehow need to insert those onto the belt over here, which is going to be rather tricky. I guess I'll go underneath, pop up here, and then plug them in about here. And then they'll just flow down there and be able to run everything on this side. But in order to do that, I will need an additional belt of copper, because as we can see, these are running flat out now, and the one on my left is not a full belt. We've got basically all of these machines running flat out. That one's not, and I don't know why not. Why are you not? Oh, because you're... oh, that's interesting. Now, in the steady state, yeah, we're going to have... it looks like I've got somehow managed to get one too many machines. Or have I? And it's just this one. Maybe this one's just gradually empty. Yeah, this one's just gradually emptying. And eventually this one will empty. So we've been emptying the internal buffers. Eventually this one's internal buffer will empty, and then we'll start using this machine. But I think this one will always have a full internal buffer. It'll just be dropping them onto the belt as fast as it produces them, because I think the intention was that all of these are balanced to the rate that they're producing the copper at. So the only one that doesn't have any overflow at the moment is this one here. So I could do with pulling out any spare. Yeah, let's pull out a couple of pieces of this, and then I'll put in another splitter here with another ramp, but it'll be an up ramp. And we'll put you on there, and then I can just run a belt from here. I can just run a belt across here. Now the input is the same for all of them, so I don't need to worry about balancing at all. Yes, that could just run onto there, but I need to make sure that this is prioritizing that side. So the hope now is that we'll produce about an additional green belt from the overflow of all three of these extra banks of copper production. We'll see how that goes, but that is the hope and the plan. With any luck, we'll be able to then produce another solid belt go. So we'll have essentially 5 belts coming out because 3 of the belts aren't running flat out. And I think there's a decent chance that that's going to work. What's quite amusing about this is you can see here my misplaced optimism over which side was going to be busier, because I've put a balancer here, a splitter here, that's prioritised to take. Yes, it's prioritised to take the copper off towards the green circuit production, but I've bothered to put it in at all, as if I thought there's going to be an overflow coming from here, and this was going to back up all the way, and then we'd have a bit of excess to put into the elevator to take away over to the main factory. So that clearly hasn't happened. Yes, I suspect we're probably going to need a second copper blast furnace, which is frankly terrifying, but is probably going to be the case. So yeah, the question. Well, I was going to say the question is how do I want to do it, and the answer is obviously I will copy and paste another one next to it here or on the other side or something like that. The slag processing can all go into here because, well, as you can see, we've only got. Well, there were 2 machines running and now they've stopped running. We're not getting that much slag out of this. It doesn't take this many machines to process it all, but we are then able to make concrete out of it. So you know, it's worth having. It's just not being used particularly heavily. And then I'll need to double all of the inputs to this in order to get another system up and running. But, you know, that's not a problem. We can do that. And if we look down here, we can how are things going here? So we see 90% full. Is there a throughput? And we've got maximum output per minute is 11,000. Operating speed is 200%. That's pretty good, I guess. The output is fairly full but not brimming. I guess that means it's about to convert a load of is it filling the hopper up, and then when it fills the hopper up it goes blip and turns it all into molten. I don't really know. It's 80%. Something is 80% full. I'm not sure I entirely understand the numbers and figures I'm being given here. It is working. That there is clearly enough molten copper that the system is running and constantly producing copper ingots or copper bars, so that's fine. But I would like to know what some of these numbers mean. So the hopper is gradually filling up. So my assumption is that once those inputs get to 100%, then we'll be able to smelt it, and maybe it'll refill the content bar, maybe it'll refill the output content bar. I'm not sure. And is that content and the output content? I mean, those are about the same amount of. No, they're not that same amount of full. I don't really know. I don't know if the blast furnace is. Well, all the casting machines over here are working. It is possible there is more capacity on this blast furnace than I realise, and I could. So potentially, it may be the case that I can pull a lot more of this out than I thought. I don't know. Remember where I came up with the numbers from this. Oh, one thing that does occur to me. This says that it's operating at 200% speed. So perhaps I can just double the number of casting machines on here and produce another 4 belts of copper. Just extend off into the forest over there somewhere. And yeah, maybe then have the blast furnace pumping it out twice as quickly. Right, so what I think is happening is that this fills up, and then when this content gets down to mumble, then it's a sort of a bloop, and we smelt it all and then refill the content. Then the content gradually empties into here, keeping this up at about more than, I don't know, whatever thousand. So every so often 10% will go from here to here. I would need twice the ore, yes, but it seems to be okay in that this is filled up well before this has got down to 50%. So that makes me think that this could go twice as fast without running out of ore. And if we look at the elevators over here, they're all still running. In that case, it has pinged. There we go. That got down to 50%. So now we're refilling all the hoppers over here. 50% is apparently But these haven't emptied. So my suspicion is that when this gets down to 50%, it takes 50% from all of these. And when this gets down to maybe 50% of its capacity, it takes another 10% out of here. So as long as this fills, I think that means as long as this fills back up again before this gets to 70% or 75%, then it'll be okay with the amount of ore that we're pumping in. If not, maybe we won't, and I'll need to speed it up. Yeah. You think the output pipe is full, so I'm not pulling the liquid out fast enough. And I am pulling the liquid out fast enough because all of these are running, except those two for some reason. But basically I've got the limiting factor on my output is how fast I can take it away. So I do seem to have enough. Let's drop it in, right, and poke this pipe. What do you think for your existence? So, no, throughput is 36,000 litres per minute, and current throughput is 7,000. So the pipe is fine. The pipe can go, we can do about 4 times as much before the pipe hits capacity. The bigger question is the numbers over here. This is down to 80% now, and the stone's filled up, but the coke and the copper ore have not. So this is going to be a bit too close. I think I probably shouldn't double it, but I reckon I could put another 2 belts worth onto this, and it would be okay. And that will get me enough copper to satisfy the cable, to satisfy the green circuit production rate. Well, actually, this is nearly full. Oh, no, it's gone to 70. Okay, so it's not quite fast enough, but it's very, very close. And there we go, it's full, but that's down to 70 now, not 75. So, yeah, I think sticking another 2, probably even another 3 on the end of there would be okay. Let's have a look down this Mario pipe and see if there's anything down there. See how fast things are being put in. Boink. Well, here we go. We see that this is now completely full. I suppose with these elevator 4s, I could put in more belts of ore coming in here, or crushed ore, obviously, and I probably have the capacity to produce more if I need it. So I think there's potential to have more copper ore coming in here, and probably more more coke coming in as well. The stone is apparently already okay, so I reckon this could be increased further. So you're saying that 96 casting machines is the theoretical limit. I think it is maxed out. I think I went and just made it. I think I just made it as big as I could because, for the sake of it, as much as anything else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 32, 64. Yeah, so another bank like this would take me up to 96, and so. But I reckon I would be okay with slightly more than that. But okay, let's assume you're correct, and this can go up to 96. So the easiest way to do that would just be to put another copy of this over there, and then upgrade these belts to blue belts, and then I'd have enough, and then I'd have effectively have 2 belts coming out of each one of these, and then I can split them off and do whatever I need to down here. So that's going to require a lot of casting machines that I almost certainly don't have, though. But let's put in the plans for this, because better to sort of start planning and. Yeah, just better to throw some blueprints down and see what I need, and then I can go back over and try and find enough casting machines, because there's no way I'm going to have enough of them. Interestingly, I don't think it does need a box balancer yet at this stage, and it perhaps sort of could do with one. So demolish terrain, demolish decor. Go and confirm paste. What am I going to run out of? Got enough building blocks. Oh, I'm only short 7 casting machines. That's amazing. I was expecting to be short a lot more than that. Right, so yeah, over here at the moment it's kind of okay. We've got as much flowing in here as it wants, because we've got 3 belts just going straight in here. So okay, so this elevator is sort of acting as a balancer. because we've got 3 belts going into it and then 3 belts or 4 belts coming out of it at the bottom. So that's sort of self-balancing. Then the rest of it, well, we've just got 2 solid belts almost going out over this way. So almost it's not quite, it's not necessarily balanced, but given that everything is just taking in lots and lots and lots, it's doing pretty well. So now we're going to be overflowing these belts now. So I need to upgrade them. So did I get enough more blue belts? I hope so. I didn't get any more blue belts. What? Oh, for goodness sake. Okay. Well, bah. For the time being, I guess I could pull one of these off where it is 16 furnaces in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, there's a convenient gap. Right, okay. So we'll cut there. And then we'll take this belt along here to here, go that way. And then let's remove all of this complicated stuff, because we might as well just stick with sending things through in the obvious way. There's no point in making things complicated just for the sake of it. I can't see what I'm doing because my exhaust plume. There's no point in making things complicated just for the sake of it. Let's have each one belt going to one place for now, and then we can worry about using up the excess when we have some excess. Pull it out. There we go. Not there. Yes. There. This is fiddly from... I'm slightly too far away, which makes everything that bit fiddlier and therefore and a bit more annoying. Right, and then I get rid of that and that and that and that. And oh, I got rid of some floor. Didn't miss that. And that and that and that. No, that goes across there. That goes across there. That doesn't happen. Right. Oh, for goodness sake. Fill in the gaps. There we go. Right. Normal service is now resumed, with the slight subtle difference that we now have 2 solid belts flowing through here, coming from the 2 halves of this bank. Now, granted, one of them is going to be a little bit slow because I ran out of cast. There's a casting machine missing there and there, but basically this is about right, and this should produce almost an additional belt. Now, the next thing is going to be to pull another belt out of here. So I'm going to come back with some blue belts and some more casting machines, and I'm going to pull a blue belt all the way along here and then split it here and have a 3rd belt going down there, and then another bank of these machines making the components, and then we'll be able to make even more green circuits. So let's go and see how things are going on over here. How full are you? About 2/3. Okay, that's not doing too badly. Still flowing through here nicely. We've got, most of the machines along this side are working. A few of the ones along this side are working, but that's as we expected. So now let's head back and resupply, and also see how many green circuits I have at the moment. Because I think this feels like it's sort of coming together vaguely sensibly. There's a whole shipping the green circuits around by aircraft thing, which is a little bit silly, and maybe I should now be sticking those and the plastic to make them onto underground belts down through my big transport tunnels. That's a thing I can consider momentarily, as in a bit, because we have a system that's basically working, and the throughput is not the throughput of the aircraft is not the problem. Yeah, blue belts are the new and shiny, so they're very fashionable at the moment. Everybody wants to be upgraded to a blue belt, but you have to be quite special to deserve it. So yeah, there's a decent amount of green circuits going through over here, and if we look in the landing pad over here, we can see that it is empty, but that's because they get pulled out straight into a box. So how is the box doing? 700. 700 is some. How many stacks is that? I don't know. I don't know I don't really know what to say about that. There's 670 in there. The question is that going to get to 0 before the plane comes over with the next lot? I suspect the answer is yes, but it is going to be a little bit more. It's not going to be quite as bad as it was before. So I need some casting machines, and I need some blue belts, and I need some more assembler 2s probably, and probably more inserters as well. Actually, what am I looking for? Oh yeah, blue belts. Blue belts come from a can. No, not that one. No, put there by an assembly machine. Give me the blue belts. What else do I have? Do I have all the other blue belt stuff I could possibly want? So I've got 48 ramps and 45 splitters. That's probably enough. Let's get some more assembler 2s. Manager 2. Assembler 2. Gimme. Is that inserters? How am I doing for other weird inserters? Still pretty well. Okay. So let's take 100 of those. And I've got 1800 foundation. That's probably enough. Let's get another stack anyway, because it can't hurt. And then once I put this in, we can then have a little bit of a debate over whether I should be transporting the circuits and the plastic around by aircraft as well. Sorry, not by aircraft, by underground belt. Hello, Persistent. Welcome. Good to have you here. Ooh, we've got lots of people watching today. That's awesome. Maybe it's because I went into the Factorio channel on my Discord server and said, "Hey, everyone, come and watch me play Foundry" at the start of the stream. That's clearly what I need to do. Nobody watches the announcements channel, but if I go into the Factorio one and off topic and say, or possibly on topic and say, "Hey, everyone, come and watch the stream," maybe it's a bit more effective. Look at my giant blast furnace, isn't it? Blasted. I didn't get more casting machines, did I? Or did I? I can't remember now. Nope, I didn't. Okay, well, that's not going to happen then. But I think there's going to be enough coming out there anyway, so it's probably okay. Right, next, step N+1. I need to copy this, all this nonsense over here. So we need to select an area, and I want, yeah, everything from here to here. To here, and I would like to make a copy in place, which means I can then drag it across like that, and it automatically tiles it. Then I can go into open panel. Just keep an eye on this, because I'm going to need to clear out any terrain that's in the way and any decor that's in the way. Boom. And then I can do a confirm paste, and I can then cry because I won't have enough of something. Yeah, okay, there's conveyor 1s, that's fine. I can upgrade those to conveyor 2s. So we'll find my conveyor 2s, which are there. And then, oh yes, this one over here. Then we run this from here to here, and all will be well. Mod a split inserter to confuse player. Place one half next to the assembler and the second half on a belt within 3 spaces and almost. Right, so basically one of these guys, but without the bridge bit in the middle of it. Yeah, that would be absolutely horrible because you wouldn't be able to tell where anything was. I hate you. I mean, I hate the idea. Right, so I now need to have a supply of copper coming in here. So that's going to mean, well, for this one, I'm actually going to put the splitter there like that, because then I can put my input there. I can put the next one there. And then I can run this from here, and we'll go down, and yeah, that can come in about there. We'll go back and check on that in a moment. In the meantime, right? So yeah, that's fine for an input. On the other side, I've got this green belt coming out here. This is going to be the interesting one, because this is going to go underneath and then pop up over here and go into this bit. So let's drop down here. And I'm going to use my hand laser for this one. I'm going to put it onto small mode. And because I'm going to need to go through here... Actually, no, better idea than this. I don't need to go through. If I use the other tool, if I use this one, I can go from there. And go 12 squares that way. Height of 1. Turn my personal drones on. They'll do a bit of the digging there, I can't get out from under here. I am stuck. And then I can fly over here and let the drones come droning in from the other side. And hopefully that's now a hole all the way through. And that means I can then grab this belt and I can go down and down. Okay. I can go down and down and then hopefully pop out over here like this. No, that one, and then that, and then I can come out here like that, over here, and then so another fixed point there, and then go up and go onto there. Oh yeah, and oh, bother. No, stop. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to remove that and that. Oh, my inventory's full. Stop being full. Bad inventory. Right, let's remove. Okay. Right. So this isn't going to work because I'm going to need to have that. That needs to be loaded into there. Right. Okay. I've got it. If I remove that and that and that and that and that and that. Right. So first off, we will have this here like that, taking as an input, pulling in that cable, like pulling in the copper cable like so. Fine. Then we'll have our output here, and that will be an output, and that will bring out the electronic components there, and then finally I can put my input there, pulling in the copper, and that's going to work and not be horrible. I promise. And then we can bring that, because then we can bring that in there like that, and it'll work without dumping stuff we don't want onto the belt. I need to go down to the other end of there and clear off those cables. We'll do that. I'll do that in a second. So that should work, but also I need that to be a green belt, like so, just to get the full throughput flow going. Okay, so let's go and get those copper cables spools that have accidentally come over here, like this. What trash? Okay, I've got an enormous amount of biomass. We'll get rid of that. Gimme. Nom. Right, there we go. Now I can fly back over here and I can dump all of that into one of these machines. So you can have all of that, boink, and also you can take away all of that and just dump it onto the belt. Lovely. Have I picked up any copper as well? Yes, I have. So you can have that too. Right. So you'll notice there's an enormous quantity of nothing coming through here, but that's fine. Because I haven't put the copper into the beginning of this beginning of the system yet. So we've got. Why is this belt so high? It's not that high. It's just one higher than all the rest of them. I don't like that. It looks wrong. Let's fix that. So I'm going to pull up everything from. I'm going to get a tree in the face. Everything from there to. It's going to be multiple grabs because I put down so much of it. And from there to there, and then we can have another down belt and down ramp like that. Thinking in 3 dimensions can be complicated sometimes. Then we run this all the way through here. Like, at some point it goes down. It's here. The other ones go down about here. All right. Well, we'll do that, and then Q. Yes, Q. Could you not go over that rock, please? That's just silly. I'll come back and deal with you later. By which I mean I shall shoot the rock in the face with the laser until it stops being a rock. Backwards belt. There we go. Backwards belt. All the way to about here, and then we'll work out how I'm going to get the copper to there in a moment. Firstly, I have an appointment with that rock. There we go. And I also shot a hole in the floor, but never mind. Was it avoiding a tree? I thought it was just that I hadn't put in enough down ramps. You could be right. I am honestly not sure. Right, so now I can cut this here and put in a split of 4 if I can find them. Split of 4 like that. And then I can upgrade all of that belt to belt 4, like that. Blue, lovely. And then that means I can now have this going there. This one can go there. This one can go here. Right. There we are. That is almost 3 solid belts of copper going through. And this should, yeah, we should have, this blue belt is twice the speed, so we should be able to have a blue belt. All of these should empty nicely onto the belt now, as long as there's enough demand, of course. And we should get, yeah, we've now got 6 solid belts coming out, except that these 3 are moving slightly jerkily, but that's okay. We don't mind. That just means we're not using up all of the stuff we have. So that seems to be pretty good. I've got, yeah, so now I've got these 3 belts coming along here. Let's follow this one along and check that things seem to be working. It's flowing in here. Most of these machines have started operating. I say most because it's not all of them. All the ones on that, nearly all the ones over here have. Is there not enough copper getting to the end over here? Perhaps not. And this will be because all the machines are filling up their internal buffers, I think. These sort of, the endless problem with this game is that the machines have quite significant input buffers. Actually, this and Factorio as well, to be fair. Is that it's only filling up to 3. Oh! I'm running out of electricity. Oh no. No, I'm not. Oh, no, it's strained because I'm running out of low voltage electricity. Where is the electricity being brought into this whole area? Here. Oh, it's using 2 small transformers. No wonder it's struggling. Okay, then let's fix this by putting in a chonky transformer. Chonk. And then plugging it in. Plug. There we go. There should now be no straining. No straining allowed. Yeah, much better. All right, so maybe that's why maybe that's why it was struggling a little bit. Maybe we weren't getting enough of the copper cable out or something like that. Yeah, okay. Why are you sad? You don't have enough copper cable. Why do you not have enough copper cable? What? So you're making copper cable, fine. Spitting it out over there, good. You're making components, good. You should be making copper cable, you are. Why are you not unloading it? Oh, there's no piece of belt. There's a piece of belt missing. Why is there a piece of belt missing? But why is there not just a belt all the way along here? What's going on? What the heck? This is presumably one of those red belts that I must have just not replaced this one. Oop, not to there, just to there. Maybe that must have been a red belt previously, and I just didn't copy and paste, and it didn't get placed because I don't have any red belts anymore. Okay. However, all those machines are now running except that one. That one is not running because we've got a massive surplus of copper cable from the previous one, so that's fine. Over here, they're all running except for these 2, and that's because we're not getting any copper through because it's all getting turned into cable. This is not a full belt. Okay, that'll be because of the missing casting machines, I suspect. We just don't have quite enough throughput to fill all the belts up. However, those are all then trundling down there, going underneath these machines as we expect, and going in over here. So it's been mostly successful. There's a little bit of stuff missing, but mostly there's a little bit missing on the throughput because there's some casting machines missing. But pretty much, we've now got a good rate of chucking these things in. So we've got. Okay, the ship is landing. It's telling me about the ship that's flowing away to the other end. So it's arrived and is now unloading. Okay, fine. How much do we have over here? And we've got up to 500, 600 or so over here now. So, and these take 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2,000. So it's it's half unloaded now, and we're more than a quarter of full over here. So things are. I'd say this is probably all right. I've sort of given up on naming the Transformers because every time you add an additional one, it breaks it and it forgets its name. But yeah, I probably should have it. I should have them named. Problem is, I'm never going to be able to find which one this is. I can go into grid stats, and then I can go, which one are you? And it goes. So it's one with two smalls and a large. So it's not that one. Could be this one. Load of assemblers, crushers. Don't know why it's got crushers, but other than that, this looks pretty, and smelters. But otherwise, it looks pretty good. Yeah, I think. Oh, greenery. There we go. I have actually already named this one. That was all right then. Cool. Casting machines not finding quality performances. Very good, Board Easy. I see what you did there. Thank you, Stella Yeti. Yes, I think one of the things I've done differently from a lot of other people is I'm doing absolutely everything. I'm harvesting all the resources myself. I'm not buying any stuff in from space, with the exception of the thermalite, because you have to. So I'm doing all the resource gathering is being done on planet, which means my profit margins are very, very good. And also I've played 3,500 hours of Factorio, so I'm used to building on quite a large scale. Oh, a slight yellow outline is the transform I'm looking at. Okay, that's really useful to know. Thank you. Yes, you're right, Regular. The copper crusher smelters are from the old copper smelting. Yes. Yeah, sorry, I did remember that, but I got distracted by other conversations and didn't say anything about it. So yeah, I've got quite a lot of robot production going on. So I've got this whole area along here is producing the robots for sale, and in fact a little bit of the area over here as well. Then I've got my main mall area here, which is producing all the stuff for building. Science is being produced over there, except for one science pack that's being produced down there because I had I don't know, I just built it there out of being difficult, I suppose. No, because it seemed like a good idea at the time, and don't these things always? So yeah, it's a fairly large factory, and which is how we like it. What are you making? You're making assembler 3s. You're making elevators. Why am I just flying around trying to look vaguely at things and not? This is all going to be elevators over here. Where are my casting machines? Casting machines are probably. I was going to say they're probably being done in a green machine because I need them in large quantities, or at least sometimes I do. But also I don't remember where they're being made or what. Oh, there we go. Casting machines. 25. Nice. Take those. Right, so we'll fly back over at some point. In fact, no, I can't just drop in a paste because because my current paste thing is my current copy is the assemblers for making the components for the green circuit, so I can't do that from here. But never mind, I'll head it back over there eventually. Yeah, making your own ships would be cool. One of the things that I have actually been saying for quite a long time that I would like to see happen is for you to have some sort of use for for all the little bots you make. And I know that's been added in the current sort of alpha, beta, whatever, the pre-release, the not ready for public consumption version. But yeah, there's a lot of these robots. If you could use them for stuff, that'd be great. So actually, you do already use maintenance drones for making the flying mining ships. So that's good. They're being used. Planter drones, I guess if you added in some agricultural stuff, then they could be useful. Transport bots could perhaps move things around, but I don't see how they'd be better than belts. Snack bots, don't know. Screen bots, maybe label things with them. Science assistants, you could have science assistant. Maybe you need to make science assistant drones to make tier 2 science labs or something like that. I think you should have a basic mining drill that is a miniature version of the core mining drill that just sort of will dig 2 squares in front of it or 3 squares in front of it, something like that. And then when you start building mining drones, you can make the drone miners, which will be a big upgrade for them. Combat drones are only going to be any use if they put in combat, and I sort of hope they don't. Light bots, well, you could illuminate your factory with them, I suppose. Heavy-duty transport bots, same as the other ones. Vacuum bots and cleaning bots. I don't have a good idea for what they could be used for, but maybe they could. And farmer combat and miner robots are just a sort of a scaled-up version of each of those. So maybe the vein miners should need miner robots in order to operate them, or something like that. So you see what I mean? They could all have things you can do with them, and I think that'd be quite nice, rather than just making them for sale. Exactly, Stellar Yeti. Yeah, so I'm not doing. I mean, I could buy stuff in from space and just scale up that way, but I don't think that's any fun. I want to play this as if it was I'm playing it like Factorio, because of course I am. And just building things up as I to run entirely from this planet. I'm looking forward to them releasing the update with the trains in it, because I think that's going to make transporting a lot of these big resources around a lot easier. As it is at the moment, I've got some massive tunnels. Like this is a massive tunnel here that's got 3 belts of copper flowing along, 3 green belts of copper flowing along it from my blast furnace all the way over to where I was smelting the copper before, and then pumping it into the middle of my factory. I've got similarly over here. I've got probably 3 belts of iron and a belt of concrete coming through, and again being plumbed right into the middle of the factory. So that's one of the things that's quite nice about the whole 3D thing, is that you can have massive tunnels underground transporting your stuff around. But I want to put trains in my massive tunnels that are transporting stuff around. I feel like that'd be much more exciting. Right, so over here we have cleaning bots and we have snack bots. So that means it's time. I'm not going to stand there because it'll be noisy. So that means it's time to go and talk to the space station. Hello, space station. And the map, isn't it? Yes, the map. Yeah, really looking forward to trains. So this one, Orirox is happy. Salaxian is happy. It's got everything it could possibly want. Luthara has got everything. Xandros would like some combat drones. Oh no, we are making those, and we're making farmer robots. Not making transport drones though. Maybe we need to make those next. Where was the Xandros? Asian, minor robots. We need to make minor robots as well. Everything else is happy, and we're sending all the right. Okay, so that wing of the galaxy is okay. There's nothing else I can add to it. So Belacan, they would like to have vacuum. No, no, it wasn't vacuum. It was snack. It was snack and cleaning. So over here, yep, don't need snack or cleaning there. Don't need snack or cleaning there. Need to make science assistant ones for that one. Let's go here now. So we'll try acquire a trade license. We'll open the configuration. We'll say we would like a ship. I think I've got some spare ships, because why not? There we go. Ship number 43. Yes. Oh, we can't do science yet. Yes. Actually, let's set all of these to maximum. The fact I'm not making any science assistant drones doesn't matter. We just won't satisfy these. But it'll mean they'll automatically start working as soon as we have some. So we can save that. Right, there we go. So that's another one done. Where was this? This is Malvanox. Fidrius, light vacuum screen transport, all already being fully supplied. I can't even add aquatic bots in it. Okay, let's remove that one then, since I can't add the aquatic ones because I haven't even researched them yet. So we'll just leave that as it is. Right, that's that spur of galaxy done. Let's head out this way then. Zorathix, you want cleaning drones. Let's open you up and give you cleaning bots. Boom, just like that. The rest of the personal assistant drones, robots, sorry, I'm not making yet, so we can't have those. Fire is happy. Gulaxe is happy. Kalalet would like some transport drones, but I don't have those. The planter vacuum screen. Okay, that's as good as it gets. That one's as good as it gets at the moment. That one's as good as it gets. Over here, we did check that one. Light vacuum screen transport. Okay. There's not as many of extra ones in here. I was expecting to be going through and adding in lots and lots of additional bot types, but it's not. There's not as many extra ones going in here as I was expecting. Maybe I'm not being. Maybe I didn't produce the right type of bots, or maybe it's just sort of everywhere requires different things. Or actually, more likely, I've gone through and fairly carefully picked out the planets that are buying things that I can supply. So now I can come over here. I've not got minor bots, but I've not got quite a lot of those. So there's no point in going there. Snack cleaning, science transport, maybe. Snack cleaning, screen transport, and science assistant. That's sort of worth having. So let's link to this one, and then let's buy Zora, and then put in another ship here. How many have I got left? So I've got 2 more ships to go. Okay. And the supply configuration. Yes, you may have cleaning bots, and you may have screen bots, and you may have snacky bots, and you may have transport bots. There we go. Save that. That makes a lot of sense, Yeti. I think they do seem to end up more. Will I upgrade to the next one? So yes, I want to start. So that was something I was sort of half mentioning when in the earlier. So yes, the next version, the one they've talked about, but at the moment the release isn't compatible with old saves. The one that's the one that adds in caves, and as you say, adds in what are functionally equivalent to Factorio's beacons, except instead of modules you put robots in them. So yes, I definitely will be as soon as it's available and will allow me to carry on using this save, I will be upgrading to that. And very much as soon as the trains one comes out, I'll be upgrading to that like a shot. Maybe even if it doesn't support other stuff, because that is going to be very, very exciting. Light planted. Yeah, it would make a certain amount of sense to set them all to maxed out, but I can't do it anyway because it won't let me max out the ones that are for bot types that I haven't even researched yet. So like the personal assistant robot, for example, I wouldn't even be able to set a request for that. So I'd have to go through anyway after producing some of them. But yeah, it probably would have been sensible to set everything to maximum. I want to find one more that has just lots of things that I already have while I'm at it. But it seems to be a little tricky. I've got quite a lot of those. All right, let's have this one. Unlock the sector. Unlock the planet. Open the supply route. Ship management. Add a ship. That one. My final ship at the moment. And I can just buy some more. But still, it's the final one that I've actually bought so far. Lots. There we go. And save that. Right, and so that's just going to lead to my my income rate going up even faster. So, which is great, but also a little bit ridiculous. But things are going well. I feel that the economy in this game needs a bit more balancing because at the moment it's a little bit. I'm not going to say meaningless. Can max do that one, and but once you get past this, in fact, once you get past a certain very very early on point, the amount of money you have is absolutely meaningless. Functionally I have infinite money now. Money is not a limiting factor for anything at all that I'm doing. But maybe that's a good position to be in. Maybe it's just sort of congratulations, you have completed that phase of the game, or maybe the game should have a bit more of a sink somewhere in there that just takes that really costs money and sort of and uses it up yes, just some way of investing it all, I suppose. Yeah, I do have a notepad and a pen, which I actually mostly use for writing down coordinates, so I dig my tunnels to the right place. Other stuff, it's just sort of go in and go. Well, we'll see what we're short of. Oh, thanks for the follow, by the way, Stella Yeti, much appreciated. All right, so what I want to do now is is it somewhere here? Is it finances? Yeah, we can see how we're. So this shows me. Okay, these are the sales, the galactic sales. Those are the ones where I set a planet and I say yes, I want to sell to that planet, and then my ships will take the stuff off there. This one is any excess supply. So if I've got more than I need for the main sales, then they'll be taken Then they'll be taken away over here. So if this drops to 0, then I'm not producing quite as fast as I could be. If this ever drops off below the fixed line of what is apparently 98, then I have a problem with supply that I really need to fix. So this, I probably should produce more transport bots. Heavy duty transport bots seem to be fine. Vacuum, fine. Cleaning, fine. Light bots, I'd say that's okay. We are occasionally pausing in our sales, but it's recovering and carrying on again, so I think that's all right. Snack bots seem to be fine. Screen bots, probably okay. Borderline, we'll have to come back and check again later. The problem is I've just added a load of extra sales in here, so it's a bit hard to tell what's fine and what isn't. Planter drones are perhaps a little bit low, but then there's also been a lot of supply issues recently, so we may have stopped making planter drones at the rate we want to make them at because we ran out of green circuits, and now we've got more green circuits. Maybe this is going to be fine. So we'll worry about this a little bit later on. So close that. I think that's basically fine. I'm sort of okay with how that's going at the moment. Are there any platform upgrades I want to do? Station upgrades. Let's have a look in here in a second. But let's look at chat first as well. Future games to be thinking about. So I've got a plan for another Factorio run, which is sure, why not? Which is not the most exciting thing, I suppose, because well, I already play an enormous amount of Factorio. As for sort of different games, I was considering running through playing Day of the Tentacle because I think that'll be fun, and I've got a certain amount of nostalgia towards it. It's not really the sort of thing I mostly play on this channel, though. I don't think I need these, but I'll grab them anyway. What does the workshop do? Oh, fuel tanks and... sure, let's have better thrusters. Why not? It's not really the sort of thing I play much on this planet, so perhaps it wouldn't be quite to the sort of the most popular streams I do. But I think it'd be fun. It'd be sort of nostalgic for me. One guess is sure. Why not? Right, let's fill that up. So I think that'd be fun. Other than that, I don't know, because I am relatively close to finishing this. There are several more types of robot to make, but as getting through this game goes, I feel like there's not an enormous amount more. I've made most of the robot types. I've done nearly all of the research. Let's get some research going, because why not? Mining efficiencies, sure. Are these infinite researches? Maybe they are, because I thought I already did them, but maybe I didn't. Yeah, so I think I'm getting relatively close to the end of the game, but that doesn't mean. But then there's some upgrades coming out, updates coming out with things like trains and whatnot. So I want to look at the trains, and then after that, I don't really know. I'm not sure what I want to play next. But that said, I would be interested in suggestions. So if you want to drop suggestions in on the Discord server, then please do, and I would be very happy to look at them. So what I'm tempted to do is just copy and paste this. But then actually no, I decided this was very, very flawed, and I wanted to be able to do this as two separate rows, because at the moment I'm limited by how fast I can make farming robots, because I can't put in any more of the production from these things because I didn't leave enough space, because I didn't leave enough space basically. So instead, I think what I want to do is I want to probably copy this bit, or probably I just want to start again with the next type of robots and then put my assembly line to the side of my component production. So let's do that. So over here, let's put in a chunk of foundation. So we're going to want to make it, we want to have 3 belts, then a gap for an inserter, then 1, 2, 3 for the assembly machines, then a gap for an inserter, 1, 2, 3 for the other set of belts, and then so that's 11, and then I want to do that twice. 21 is actually probably going to be enough because I expect the middle ones to share some. So I'll do that much. And then I'll build this out to 4. We'll stick with 4 assembly machines for now, because that's going to allow me to have 2 making the limbs and 1 making the head, 1 making the torsos. So I'll do that, and then while I'm faffing around making all of this stuff, I am going to dig out some more ground from over here. So we want to go back. How far back is this? This is 20. Is it exactly 20? Yes, 20, and as far this way as it'll let me. So here, well, basically as far, 9, 20, and then all the way up, which is here, because there is what I'm going to call a glitch in the game, where if you drag outside the area that it's the biggest area it's going to let you select, then it just loses the entire thing you've selected, which is why I've got into the habit of selecting slightly smaller areas or slightly smaller volumes than the game will, strictly speaking, allow me to select. So there we go. The bots can now come over and let's not use mine. The bots can now come over. Here they come. Bum, 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 and they can hack out all of this. While they're doing that, I will be building down here. Whee! Boink. I think I bounced slightly. Right. So over here, what type of robot should we make next time? I'm going to make one of the big robots. A leaderboard does sound quite interesting. I mean, I guess you could go onto the onto the Discord server and say, "Hey, look how much money I've been making. Worship me, peasants," or something like that. Or maybe not quite so aggressive. I don't know. So you could do it sort of unofficially, but yeah, having an official leaderboard that just tells you how much stuff you've been bringing in, how much money you've been making over the past however long would be quite nice. Right, this menu. So, should we make combat robots or miner robots? I feel like there's more demand for miner robots, so let's go for this one. So we've got here robot parts, thermalite, circuit boards, and energy cells. Robot parts, robot parts. So they all take robot parts. So let's send those up the middle. That's fine. Then the limbs both take pistons, and steel, so better send that up the middle. I need to make mining drills. Okay, cool. That's interesting and different. Sure, I'm on board with that. So we're going to put robot parts, hydraulic pistons, and steel up the middle. Then we can stick CPU and iron on one side, and thermalite circuit boards and energy cells on the other. That seems to be... Oh, and mining drills on the other. Right, okay. So one side is going to make the torsos, which is parts, thermalite, circuit boards, and energy cells. And the legs, because they're the slightly simpler of the two. The other side is going to make the heads and the arms, because I'm going to need to make the drills as well. Okay, so let's put in an additional space for an additional machine here, because I'm going to do the drills separately. Come on. Having a slightly longer range copy would be quite nice as well. That is a feature I would like to see. Oops, didn't mean that to go out quite so far. You know what, it can stay. So we want 3 on... No, we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... No, actually, it still only needs to be 4. 4 along here. I made that bigger than it needed to be. And then over on the other side, which is going to be inserter, belt, 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 inserter, is going to be here. On this side, I only need 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I need somewhere to take things out as well. Hopefully I've left enough, I'm going to leave enough room for this. We shall find out. Ha! Hello, Peter. Yeah, yes, I was actually watching that myself earlier as well. Although I didn't get quite as distracted because I have a stream to run. Yeah, I do like jet lag and their hide and seeks. Actually, one of my friends gave me a copy of hide and seek, a jet lag hide and seek game for my birthday. So sorry, not for my birthday, for Christmas. So I'm thinking that might be an upcoming stream, should we say, at some point. Not a stream, an upcoming video series at some point, if I can sort of. The only problem is the level of whether I've got the level of sanity required to do all of the video editing that's going to be required for that. Right, so there's the drill. Then we need to have the miner robot arm. Then we need to have another machine making the miner robot arm. Then we have another. Then the final one is making the head. And hopefully I'm going to be able to fit in everything I need here. What do you actually take? God, there's a lot of inputs for this. This might be going to be a squeeze and maybe a spaghetti. We'll see how it goes, though. I'm not afraid of a little bit of spaghetti, but I would like to not have things too unmanageable. So we'll try. And then over on the other side, we're then going to be making the legs and the legs and the heads, torsos, that one. Hello, Sphere. No, the drill doesn't replace an arm. The drill is a component for the arm, which is the drill being an arm would be far too easy. So, what's the rate of making 15 a minute, and we take in 8 a minute? Huh. So, this is getting worse and worse. So this machine is only just, well, it's not really going to be able to keep up with these, but it's going to be close enough that I'm kind of okay with it. But if I want to produce any more, I'm going to need even more throughput. So up the middle, I was saying I was going to bring the robot parts and the hydraulic pistons, and I think the steel beams, because they're needed by both of these. Maybe I should be making the arms and the legs on one side, and the heads and the torsos on the other. Because there's so much overlap there, but then the only overlap would be the robot parts, and then having belts running up the middle is less useful. But also I could then spread stuff out a bit more. Yeah, maybe I'm going to switch to that. It's not going to be quite as neat and tidy and compact, but I think I don't care. I'm going to have plenty of room for this, so let's make this bigger. And let's put in an additional machine here, and you guys are going to do legs instead. Leg, leg. And that means I can then stumble around like a drunk thing. I can bring in the pistons and the steel and along here. So say pistons and steel, and the third thing can be, I guess it could be the mining drills actually. Yeah, okay, let's do that. So, pistons here, probably. Try not to right-click, Laurence, that would help. pistons, steel, mining drills, which will only, for now, will only come to here because we don't need. There's no point in passing them further along because there won't be enough capacity for that. So now I can put in that, and that's going to be an exerter, but I'll change that in a moment. And that and that. Exert. Boink. Right, so there we go. Intake. And then we'll need a medium and a long here, and a medium and a long here. I've not thought about where I'm going to get the parts out, of course. I guess it's going to have to be on the other side. Maybe I'm having n+1 thoughts, because my plan was going to be bring in these three input requirements. No, I'm going to make the mining drills on a separate row and bring them in here, because this isn't going to work otherwise. Then I can have the. Do we need robot parts for that? I think I do. Yes, I do. Then I can have the two body those two parts coming out here. I'm going to need to move these out as well. So many input parts needed for these. Let's use the proper tool for the job. There we go. All right, so let's build this up and then get this working, and then sort out the next one. So we're going to have the arms coming out here, legs coming out here, robot parts coming through here. Don't do that. Draw in a straight line. Robot parts coming in here. So that means I'll then have a short one here, here, long one here, here, very long one here, 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 and then these should be outputs. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Right. Then we can worry about the next set of things. So there's going to be another two belts and a gap for an inserter or anything else you might want to put in there. And these are going to make, for now, I actually only need two machines here because these are going to be making the torsos and the heads. So we're going to make heads and shoulders. Oh, stop. Oh, no, that's all right. Heads, shoulders, knees, elbows. So that's going to, again, be robot parts. So we'll need another one of these. They can go there and there. That's fine. And then we need CPUs, iron, thermalite, circuit board, and energy coil. CPUs, iron, thermalite, circuit board, energy coil. That's 5 things. 6 if we count robot parts. That's all the slots taken up, but there isn't room for outputs. Am I going to have another row for the heads? Right. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. So over here, when I did the previous ones, it kind of worked because we had all of the... Yeah, we had the overlapping inputs for the arms and legs coming in up the middle here. And then the other extra bits needed for the heads coming in over here, which apparently was iron and circuit boards. Processors, sorry. And then all the bits of the torso coming in over here, the energy coils and whatnot. And it kind of fitted. But this time it really isn't. Although part of it was because, yes, I cut the belts off after I had one machine's worth. And I was trying not to do that over here. And I suppose what I could do with these is I could bring in the processors and take out heads. And that would kind of be okay, because if I only make one machine doing this, then I only need one machine making, and then I don't need to pass the CPUs any further along. So let's go with that for now and see how much I regret it later. Okay, so over here, let's worry about some inputs now, shall we? So we have steel, hydraulic piston things. That's it, steel and hydraulic pistons coming in over here. So steel is, if you're steel, where would you be stolen to? Steel is, I can't see it. Steel, there it is. That's why I couldn't see it. It's miles up. Steel is there. Hydraulic pistons are there, going along there. Okay, so steel goes in first. Fine. And I'm not going to use red belt. So even though this is wrong and gross and all that sort of stuff, I'm going to have a yellow belt coming off a red belt because otherwise it won't work. All right. Oh well, never mind. Time for a little bit of wiggle. Let's get some wiggle on. So I'll put in a yellow splitter under there with a ramp like this. Problem with putting two construction systems quite so close together is you run into this sort of problem where there isn't room to get the belts out. Can we not? Alright, go that way, then go that way. In fact, just go that way. Then a fixed point there, and you go. Yes, there. So it's that one, and then pistons from over here. Alright, and that needs to go through here. It's not going to though, because we've got the slightly awkward wigglomatroning going on. But that's okay, because we'll put this. Which side are you coming out on? That side. We'll make do. That thing goes there, and we have a belt coming from here. I don't think this is actually a problem. It just slightly breaks the rules or the guidelines of how I was trying to do my bus beforehand. But it's keeping everything untangled and out of the way of each other, so I think it's kind of okay. The problem is going to be this one here, but I can have that come up and across and then down and drop in. This is the one that's going to be making the drills. So, yeah. Plan for expansion. Yeah, planning for expansion would be a good idea, to be fair. If necessary, I think I can probably I'll leave a bit of a gap after the next row. This one is going to be okay. Making the limbs is going to be fine because there's not that many different bits and pieces going into the limbs. It's going to be the next stage along, the head and torso, that's going to be the problem because I won't be able to fit all of the inputs and the outputs in around here. So I'll try and consider what I'm going to do in the future and probably not actually consider it properly, and everything will go horribly, horribly wrong. Right, next up we have robot components. That comes to over here, and that's going to go in there, which means I need to get, which comes to here. The ramp will be there, and the splitter will be there and there, so that goes to there, and then I can put one of these in here, followed by one of these, followed by some more of this that can then just go straight from here. Plumb in there like that. That's how it's supposed to go. That's what it should look like. This weird kinky stuff over here is not quite how it's meant to be. But never mind, it'll work. So that should be now, all the bits and pieces should be arriving here once the robot components turn up, except for the drills. So we should start getting some legs out, except I haven't put the inserters in for the legs. Where am I going to put my legs? It's a weird question to ask, I know, but it's one that has to be asked. Okay, so what if this belt that's going to have the this one's going to have the arms on it. Oh, it's not going to work. It's going to have to go down and underneath this, isn't it? Because I was going to say let's bring it along here, but no, I can't bring it along there because that's where the inserters go. So what I should have done is left a bit more room here, left a gap between these two sets of machines, and then I could have had this one duke out a bit and come along on the outside of here, down the gap. But I didn't, so I can't. So instead, I guess I'm going to be removing this. So yeah, leaving space would have been a good idea. I have not left space because I did not have a good idea. Sorry. So from there, we're actually going to want to go down. Boink. And then out like this. So there's my arms for the paw. I'd like to have another belt on top of this, like that. Legs. And then this is going to be in, out, in, out, toggle, toggle, You know, I should have just... I might actually just stick my assembly line on the end of here, because that one's making them decently quickly, and I can rethink the whole... come back and rethink the whole design when there's a shortage of them. It's not a very forward-thinking... Oh, wait, no, I was bringing them out on this side. Oh, you idiot. So I don't need to do any of that nonsense. Ah. Right, undo that. We don't need to have any of this. Oops. Ah. I always forget which tool is single click, which tool is double click, which tool is click more than once, and yeah. Right. Remove all of that. Put in all of that, because no, this isn't where the limbs come out. This is where the drills go in. So over here, yes, this is where the limbs come out, and this is okay. We can have, I can't see where the end of the belt is, but in theory, I can have arms there and legs there, and robot parts there. So this is all fine. We can make all of our robot bits and pieces here. This is going to work nicely. Right, next up is heads and shoulders. So, shampoo time. Right, CPUs and iron plates. Now, iron I'm going to need for the drills, so I'm going to try and get that onto the other side if I can. So let's do this one first. Oh, and I still haven't worked out how I'm going to get these out, have I? Because we're going to have a bajillion things here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is everything. Oh, but I was going to put the heads on the same row as the CPU, so that's kind of okay. And yeah, so we've got the robot parts ready. Energy cells, circuit boards, and thermalite, whichever is the first two of those, or whichever is the ones after that show up after this, if there are any. And they're not. So thermalite sheets are there. Green circuits are there. And energy cells are there. Oh, energy cells are on the next level up, so that's actually quite convenient. I can bring these in. I'm running out of belts. Again. I can bring them along to... Well, I can bring them along to here and then promptly run out. Which is a start, I suppose. Although... I'm going to want to put in... I'm going to put my drop in there. So that will go to there. And then one of these on here. Yes, but on the other... Oh, is it on the other side? Yes, it is on the other side. This is always difficult trying to do this, because it wants to go there, but it doesn't want to go across from there. So I'm going to have to switch on to the other mode, the sort of the guess somewhere vaguely in space mode. Like that. Then I can use that one piece of belt that I've got left, like that, and I can put in my, then I can put in the ramp, like that. I don't like having the ramps here, but actually it kind of works in this particular case, I think. Yeah, it works in this particular case, but only because the energy cells are the last thing along the bus here. If it was anything else, then that ramp would get in the way of the next belt coming through, and that's how you making those sort of compromises is how you start to end up with spaghetti like this. Yes, this is genuinely awful. I am. It was okay when I started, but it grew and grew and grew and got worse and worse and worse. Yes, agreed, Board Easy. That would be a good way to do things. Which means I probably won't, but you are quite right, and it is the correct way. This is what I should be doing. I know I need more belts. I'm just looking at that. I need more very long inserters as well. Tier 3 inserter. Yoink. Belts, yellow belts. Red, yellow. Be in here, this one. Gimme. Oh, fine. Do it that way then. Have I got the other bits of them up? I'm going to get some more splitters. I probably don't need more splitters, and I'm going to take more ramps as well, even though I probably don't need more of these, but I'd rather have too many than too few. How am I doing for assembly machines? That's the other question. I've got 11 of them left. Let's get some more of those, since that's easy. He says, trying to remember where they come from. Yes, here. So, you know what? Give me that, but also take those. Yeah, so as I say, 3 belts, 2 inserters. Well, yeah, that pattern. So 11, and then another couple of bit of width would probably make a lot more sense. And I've done it's sort of okay along here. Things are quite close together, and it has been all right. But you're quite right that leaving it, especially now it's getting complicated, leaving, and in fact some of them even overlap like this. But yeah, leaving a bit more space for just generally for sanity is probably a sensible thing to be doing. I'm not going to argue with that. So this was needed for the torsos, wasn't it? So they'll come to here. Goes there, and they'll probably need something else here. So this is going to be either green belts or this is going to be either green circuits or thermalite. Is either of those going to be easier than the other? Probably thermalite slightly easier, I guess. Here it is. This one is, of course, underneath another belt, but that's just that's because my my bus has started to expand beyond the realms of, beyond the limits of what I could fit in one row. So I thought, okay, it'd be all right to make a second row, as long as the second row is directly above the first. Is that okay? I think that's right. Let's bring that to here, and splitters are allowed to go underneath belts, so I can put that there with a splitter. Am I splittering off to the right side? I'm not splittering off to the right side. I want to splitter off to that side, then put in a ramp. It needs to be an up ramp for this one, and then I can put in one of these with a little bit of a wiggle, but only a little bit of a wiggle, like that, and there's the thermalite. Sweet. So, green circuits, CPUs, and iron. Probably in that, or probably not in that order, actually, sadly. There's the iron, and ideally I want to. Here's the iron. Yeah, I want green circuits, iron. Where are CPUs? Ideally, I want things to come off in the order that they're on the belts in, because it makes otherwise the belts tangle with each other and it gets awful. There are the CPUs. Oh, okay, CPUs are first then. Okay, well, we'll do that. We'll do that. This comes along here to. Okay, so we have boom, 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 there. Then I put in one of these, and this should snap into place this time. Yes, there we go. And then a down ramp like that, and then an input belt like that. Have I got this in the right place? Yes, excellent. That's what we like to see. But that only goes to there because that's going to get taken over by another robot part of some sort. But the heads are going to come off from there. Then it was iron and green circuits, the other two. So iron is the next one because it's the next one along the list here. So we'll bring that through to here. Then put in a splitter like that. And this is how the system is supposed to work when I'm putting in these belts. And actually, if I take Board Easy's advice and actually leave a little bit of space between my builds, then this should work really quite nicely. This is iron. I can't even remember what the iron was for. If I end up with some in my inventory, so be it. And then green circuits. Zoop, zoop. So that comes to here, and we go one square extra across. Then we have a splitter. Which side do you need to be on? You need to be on this side. Then we have a ramp. Then we have a belt. I feel like there's an awful lot of this mountain left, given that I was trying to rip it up. There. But it is being demolished, and it's going down, but I'm not sure it's going down quickly enough. Maybe I'm probably what I should have done is when I started building this bus coming out here, I should have gone, oh look, there's a mountain on the horizon. Let's go in a slightly different direction, where there's just hills, or let's go straight out into the desert or something like that. But no, I didn't. So oh well. Yeah, sanity. Looking people who are looking for sanity clearly do not belong in this stream. You're probably right. We have other things instead, like wailing and gnashing of teeth. There we go. So there are my heads coming out here. And then you need blooming everything, don't you? Actually, what else do you need? Oh, this one needs the iron. Okay, that's fine. We can manage that. That's one of these guys. There we go. I think we're going to be making heads now. Yes, we are. Excellent. And then this one requires the green circuits. And then we'll put them out onto the same belt as the green circuits are coming in on. Right, so that means I can do one of these to bring the green circuits in, one of these to take the torsos away, and also one of these to bring... No, I don't need anything else. That's everything. So you're going to be an exerter, and you're going to have a belt like that. And then there we go. So we're making 3 out of the 4 parts of the robot now. That's really good. For my next trick, I shall switch back over to this thing and hollow out a bit of this with my personal bots, because I'm impatient and I kind of need this bottom area of this mountain to be gone so that I can put in the production of the drills. Because we're going to need some mining drills. Nom 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 nom. Going to need to go quite a long way out over here actually in order to get the in order to be able to bring the resources in from the bus, which is a bit of a shame because this means I'm going to have to do a fair amount of this manually, and I try not to do too much manual digging on the streams because it's not the most interesting part of the game, and I don't want to bore people. But that said, there's quite a lot going on here at the moment, so I think this is going reasonably quickly. So with the bots, I don't feel quite so bad as back in the olden days when I was going through and doing loads of it by hand with the mining laser. Right, is that enough for another row for another machine? So we've got iron, and there are about 2 more inputs. We can get 1 more on this side. We're going to get at least 1 on the other side. So I think we're going to so we'll put the other 2 on the other side and bring stuff out on the other side. So I'm going to need one belt, 1 inserter, 1, 2, 3 for the machine. I'm going to need 1 more than that. That's annoying. Just go in and take out what seems like a reasonable amount of soil. That's surely going to be enough, and no, it surely isn't. Maybe by the time I need to be exporting larger numbers of robots, they'll have got to the point where I can install the module and beacon system that they've been promising, and it'll all be fine. I'll just turn them off. There we go. And it'll all be fine. I'll just have enormous amounts of robots around, just making everything run faster. I'm sure what could possibly go wrong with that? So I reckon this. Oh, I have not mined away high enough here to put the machines in. Okay, that's probably enough. I could leave the robots on and just ignore the noise they make, but I'm not. Right, so that goes there. This is going to be making my little mining drills because they took so many inputs that I couldn't fit them in with everything else. So that's going to be the iron is going to come in from over here with one of these guys. Doink. No. With one of these guys. That's my iron going in. And then I need electronic components. Are you in the right place? Yes, you are. Electronic components and mechanical components to be brought in here as well. That's going to be slightly awkward. It's probably just going to require some zigzagging of belts. And then over here, I can bring out from at this point we can have the drills coming out here like this. They can then go up and over. So it goes to there, up, and down, and in there. Lovely. With a bit more sanity, if it was easy to just move stuff around, then I'd have moved this all across a little bit and have this as the first thing, or and put it right next to these. But you know, we don't always get what we want in this game. So, we're gonna have a belt coming in here, bringing in one of the things it needs, and a belt coming in here, bringing in the other thing that it needs. Fine. So that means we're going to need some inserters for this bit. So we're going to need an exerter here like that, and an inserter here like that to toggle that one. And now I need to go and find the various component things. So here's the electronic components, and somewhere will be the mechanical components. Are they buried? Yes, there they are. There are the mechanical components. We don't have very many of those, so I'm probably going to need to go back and improve the the flow rate of them. But they are coming all the way along here to here. That's pretty good. So I can now bring from there, and that's even inside the iron. So that's really, really good. I can bring this along to. No, I can't. I want to bring it outside of the iron. Let's bring that to there. And then think about where the electronic components are. They're here. They are outside the iron, but they're inside the... Yeah, let's do these ones first. So we'll put that to there. Then splitter goes, yes, there. Ramp goes there. Belt goes there. Then the other one, that's this one. So you're presumably going to be bringing out your splitter on. These are not lined up. It's going to bring a splitter out on the inside. Okay, that's fine. Splitter. Splitter goes there. Ramp goes there. No, it doesn't. Ramp goes there. Splitter goes there. Let's try and get things in the right place when we can, just for the sake of neatness. There we go. And there's my components coming in. And you know what? I'm going to do an inventory dump into here like that, because I'm sure I picked up some junk like that that'll be useful for making these things. And then I'm going to go off and... Oh no, we've got them coming in already. I just haven't put in the inserter yet. So we also want a number 6. Goes there. Yum, 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 yum. And it's producing. Lovely. And here comes my drill. It's in a nice little box. How twee. Okay, so that should then come over here. That should allow it to start making the arms that we need. Arms for the robot. So you've got legs. We're gonna have arms. Over here we've got torsos and heads, or possibly vice versa. So now, actually, that's pretty good. That's all the bits of the robot. So I now have a little bit of a debate to have. So what I've got a choice here. I can either... This bit will be absolutely trivial to extend because there aren't too many inputs and outputs, so I could just copy and paste this if I want to make the robots twice as quickly. Over here, it's going to be quite a lot harder because we've got we're sharing some belts essentially. We've got the CPUs coming in here and heads coming out. We've got green circuits coming in here and torsos coming out. So if I want to put in more head and torso production, I'm going to need a lot of spaghetti in order to do so. Because there just wasn't enough capacity. There wasn't really enough room on either side of these machines. Alternatively, I could move one of these over to here, next to this one, but then that gets a bit messy as well. Or I could just go, you know what, this is going to be the rate we're going to make these things at. And go, yeah. Sounds... well, I can mute some sounds, certainly. I don't, but I like to have the game sounds working in general, so we can hear these machines chugging away as they're working. Hear my jetpack and my jumping and so on. I'd like to have the sound on in general. I just sort of didn't want to have the endless chop 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 sound of building things. So now I need to build another one of these. I probably don't know. I don't have any of the relevant bits and pieces in my inventory for that because why would I? I've been doing other things for the past very, very long time. No, don't destroy all of them. Just destroy those 2 because 2 is a silly number. Is that concrete? It is. I should go and put that somewhere useful. Okay, that's freed up a bit of space in my inventory. I might be able to get all the bits and pieces I need now. So let's think about this. I'm going to need... there's four parts. I need a start. There's 4 parts to a robot, so I'm going to need 4 things to attach and then 4 to weld. No, I'm not. 3 must be... Yeah, so 3 more parts to a robot. Oh, but there's two arms and 2 legs, so there's actually 5 more bits that need to be added to the torso. So I'm going to need 10 of these, then a painter, and then a shipyard to take them away. Let's go and get some bits. Yes, the drill is clearly flat packed because it wouldn't fit otherwise. Makes sense. Fly over the giant spaceship. And then somewhere, I think it was somewhere along here, I'm making all the bits. Is it the other side of this? No, it's cargo pods. Maybe it's not quite. Maybe they're not quite that fat. Oh, I don't know where I'm making all these bits. This is all belts. Maybe it's here. Crush and this crush and spell. Ah, this might be it. Yeah, here we go. So we've got. Have I been putting these in a box somewhere actually? There's some boxes over here of miscellaneous junk. Yes, this looks promising. Right, so here we go. We've got an assembly line start. We need one of those. We need... Don't care about assembly line rails so much. Producer and painter. We need one painter. And we need 10 producers, and we've got 2 of them. The rest of this is... I'm tempted... I've got a mining. I've got my original mining drill here. I could chuck that into the system as well because it's not like I'm going to use it when I've got the mining laser. And then a few big things as well that we don't care so much about. And then over here, this is all circuit control stuff and a small shipping pad. Let's take that and put it. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Right. So it was over here. So I need 10 of the producers. I need another 8 producers. There's the assembly line starts. That's assembly line producers. So I need 10 of those. So we'll take 8 more, put them there. It's 10. Yeah, it feels right. And then I got a painter, didn't I? Yes, I got the painter. We've got rail here, but I don't think I need rail. I do, however, need the oh yeah, the things for taking them away. The spaceport. I was building somewhere else because it required silly things. Oh yeah, it was next to this one, I think. Yes, shipping pad, medium, whatever. What are you missing? You're missing an emergency beacon, so I need to make... this is an odd, weird thing about this. In order to make the shipping pads, you need to make emergency beacons by hand. So let's have a look at how to make an emergency beacon. Emergency bacon. Just what you need when you're hungry. There we go, that guy. So it's iron. It's this iron and copper. Let's grab some of this. Iron. Probably enough. And can I make an emergency bacon? Yes, I can. This is where it tells me, and no, actually you need 2 emergency bacons, isn't it? Yes, it is. Try that again. Make another emergency bacon. Oh, I wish I had emergency bacon every breakfast. There we go. Now we're making a shipping pad and let's make another one of those. So make another 2. So next time I come by, I will have all the bits and bits. There'll be another one waiting for me, and I won't have to wait for it to be made. And if I'm organised, maybe I'll even put more bacon in there so it can make another one for me for later. So, have that, and I'll take that. Right, jump. There we go. Now back over here. Hey, the bots are doing quite well at excavating. But then there's only one ship up there at the moment. Maybe I need to say take out some more mountain. In fact, let's say take out some more mountain anyway, because I'm going to need more space relatively soon. So I would like to go from there to... What are we here? We're at 37. Can I go to 37 that way? Say 35, because that's a smaller number than 37 and therefore will be easier. There we go. That's another chunk for them to get themselves busy with. Do we need to put these guys on foundation? We do not. Excellent. So I can just sort of start laying these out. And I think I've pretty much decided I'm not going to bother with making this extensible. So I'm going to remove all of this and just put the production line in here. Right, so that means I need to... Right, let's have a look in the backpack. First thing is an assembly line start, one of these guys. And I need to feed the torsos into this. So if I put it over here, then the only one I need to sort of spaghetti round a little bit is going to be the heads. So there's my torsos. And then I need a bajillion of the producers. I wanna be a producer. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. And inevitably I will find that I run into some terrain, won't I? Actually, it's just not snapping onto the end. No, I've run into some terrain. There's a giant mushroom in the way. And I've not got enough space in inventory to destroy it. I'm being defeated by a giant mushroom. I'm a giant stompy robot and I'm being defeated by a giant mushroom. Okay, tundra dirt does not stack, so we're not going to keep any of that. Now can we shoot the giant mushroom? Yes, we can. And the rock as well, probably. And the tree. And the other tree. And the other giant mushroom. And the other tree. And the other tree. And that tree as well, just because it's in the wrong place. Right, oh, and this tree as well, because that's quite close. And this mushroom. There we go, right, that's freed up a bit of space. Maybe now I'll be able to carry on putting down my producers. Nope, we've got a... Have we got a ground in the way? Or is it just more plants? I don't know. I don't know what's a part of the landscape and what's a decorative. Oh, that's definitely a landscape thing. So it's that. And there's still stuff in the way. You know what? I'm going to switch over to this, and I'm going to dig out everything from... I don't really want to dig out from there because there's no need. I'd like to leave that though, but I'm going to have to, I think. From there to there to... Oh, I lost a block on the way through. I think. Yes, I did. So take out another column as well. Out to here. There we go. And we'll just use I'll just use the personal drones for this because I want it to happen quickly. And I'm right here. Oh, I could do copy paste, I suppose. Yeah. There's a part of me that feels like using copy paste for deliberate mining or deliberate excavating is kind of cheating. Like I could knock out that mountain in seconds with a giant copy paste attempt. But it feels wrong somehow. I feel like not playing the game properly. My inventory full. It's the only reason I can think of why that thing's laser proof. No, it's not. Oh, it's just being slow. Fair enough. So the thing is, I don't actually want all of this hole. I just want some of this hole. But I have to dig it all out because I couldn't select it very easily. But never mind. Right, there we go, that's all gone now. So let's now put back the dirt I actually wanted to have, which is basically that layer. And then, put in some more of these. And then I will almost immediately have a problem where I just don't have that space for it. So I think this is going to carry on being a thing. I'm going to need to just dig out forever. Because it's a big old system that I'm trying to put in. How far does this one go? Okay, this one goes out to... Yeah, and then there's the spaceport, which is even bigger. Okay, well we'll start with this much. This is hard to line up. 15, apparently. Whoop. There we go. I kind of just want to get the ship to come over and do it. I don't know how it works, how it prioritizes stuff. Now, so it's nearly finished that area over there. We've got a very nice, neat straight line across here, but I think that's just because that's where I placed. Yeah, that was the new block I placed in. If they do it by proximity, there's a chance that this one might happen first, but I think that's probably still going to be closer. I think I'm just going to have to do it with my personal drones and just dig this all up. However, if I sort of stand over here while I'm doing it, then I can drop these things in as I go. Yeah. I don't know if it is a first in, first out. I don't think it is. I think it's more likely to be based on proximity to the to where the drones are coming from, which in this case is my personal ones, so they'll dig out the stuff closest to me, which is very handy. That is exactly what I want them to do. But for the rest of the, for the big aircraft things, I'm assuming it's going to be whatever's closest to where they fly out from, just because that feels like the most logical way for it to work. It seems to be a little bit funny sometimes, so I am definitely not sure. We get these ones out, please. So much for always doing the nearest ones. But there we go. Oh, it's because a ship's turned up to help. Right, okay. If I'd known a ship was going to turn up, I'd have tried to dig out more. Ah, there we go. Got to the end. So now I can put in the painter, which is that one, like that. And then we have the exciting part. Then we try and put in the spaceport, this guy, which is 31 by 27. Jeez. I don't even know which way round the 31 by 27 is. I think it's probably 31 that way and 27 across. And I've lined this one up offset by 1 off to the side. 31 by 27. So so from here, that is 15. So if I go from, so that's 14, and I want 27, so I need another 13 out this way, which is to here, and then by 31. So that's to here, like that. And I'm going to stop doing that with my personal drones because it's going to take too long. And then over here, I need to drag this out to here, and then to the same distance over here. Let's start that again. Let's drag this from here out to the same distance this way, and basically to here, and then up to wherever, like that. There we go. That's going to be a fairly significant excavation, but you know, I've got it's what I've got the drones and the ships and things for. So I'm just going to let that happen. Then step N plus whatever is going to be to come along and put in some foundation across here. Zap these mushrooms and these rocks that are going to be in the way, and then I can put the spaceport in. And then we'll be able to sell these things as well. So for now, let's start getting things hooked up, because I'm not going to watch while the drones come over and dig all this stuff up. I'm going to actually start hooking things up. So first up, we need the torsos. If you're a torso, which box would you be in? Pretty sure that's a torso. So we'll bring you out to here, and then actually, you know what? Let's clear out some of this. So we'll get from here to here. There we go. Then I can put my where are the loading points on these? They're down as well. Okay, cool. So we'll bring these out there, and then down. No, the other sort of down, like that and that. You are going to be brought straight over and plumbed in. Oh, do you actually go in on the side? You do go in on the side. Fine. Like that. You can be the first thing that we add. We'll put the heads on first this time. I don't believe the order you build your robots in matters at all. So we're going to do that. Then we can do the limbs. And then I'll do all the welding at the end, because I don't know. Then I don't have the belts. The belts don't have to run quite as far. So put that there and there. No, belt. Then we'll run this one to here, here, into the back of that. This one goes here, here, into that one. Then put that there, that there. None of these are going to know what to do yet, and actually none of this system is even powered, so it isn't going to work. But at least I can get all the bits and pieces can start flowing, and we can build up a bit of a backlog and a buffer of parts. Right. So we need power. So we'll have a cable coming from there to put in the right place. There we go. To there, and we can plug that into here. Do I have to plug everything in, or will they pass power between them? guessing I probably have to plug them all in. But I want to make sure of that first. Yes, I need to plug them all in. Okay, well that's easy enough because I can just run the power along the spine like this. It'd be nice if they connected to each other, but it doesn't really matter. Right, there we go. So then back over here, we can say, do you need configuring? Yes, you do. Well, the one you're being given minor robot torso. So why don't you just build a minor robot? It's not exactly rocket engineering. You come to here, and you are going to. What limb have you got? You haven't. You've got heads. Of course you have. I want you to attach head. Then, is it arms or legs first? Those are legs. Yes, legs. So, minor left leg. Minor right leg. Minor left arm. You'd think they could guess, wouldn't you, given what they're given? But never mind. Minor right arm. Then we need to do minor weld. Minor second weld. As long as they don't fall apart on their way down the third weld. As long as they don't fall apart on their way along the assembly line, this should be okay. Weld leg. Weld leg. Minor. Right, so this is a mining robot. I made the how did I colour them? I made them basically blue because they're my robots. But then I gave them I gave it a bit of green because it was a farmer robot. Oh no, so a blue head and green everywhere else because it's a farmer. So if I come over here, then I can go and similarly I can give it a blue head. And let's say minor can be yellow. That was not the head. That's the head. There we go. Like that. Lovely. Right, so we now have lots of robots, but no way to paint them because I haven't brought the paint over yet. Where do you put the paint into one of these buildings? Where do you put the paint into one of these buildings? Where do I do it over here? Because I did it on that side on this one. Can you do it on either side? You can do it on either side. Okay. But so if I drill down here, I should find a paint input. Either that or I'll find it just doesn't work because the game cares about which side you put stuff in. Let's have a look over here as well because I'm curious. That took out a lot more than I expected to. Must have. Yeah, okay. That looks like just as inputty as the other input. So let's bring a pipe in here, or rather, let's bring a pipe over from here. You can go, and we'll turn you into a T intersection, which will rotate upwards. What's the other rotate? H. Like that. Then I can run a pipe from here. Smack into the side of this hill. Great. Fine. Come through there like that, and then I guess we're going to take the pipe, and you know we're going to. I'm going to use the magic tool, but I'm going to clear the flora out of the way first. So magic tool goes from there to there. And there. Boom! Suddenly we have paint available. And there we go. 2 painted robots and lots of assembled robots. So the wonder of waiting for this to be built is we're going to have a sudden flurry of bots available as soon as I've got space here to put in my landing pad. And they're all going to be queued up along here. But it's not going to help very much because we are going to eventually run out of something. Yeah, there we go. We've run out of one of the limbs. Is that arms? No, legs. We've run out of legs already. It's kind of an inevitability, but we should be using up everything. Yeah, there we go. I reckon we're using everything up at about the same rate. So it should be, once it gets going, we should maintain the same amount of stock of everything. It's just that getting it going that's the tricky part. But you know what? Let's give the bots a hand because there's not very much left, and I'd like to get this finished off. Nom 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 nom. Right, isn't that a lovely barren, featureless wasteland that we can now put a spaceport on? So, I believe I now need to put in some foundation. So we'll take some of that, and we're going from here. It was 27 by 31, wasn't it? Well, somebody's got the maths wrong. Oh no, they haven't. Doink. There we go. Goodness sake. Stop it. Right. I wonder if this is going to need power. Doesn't seem to. Interesting. Maybe it gets plugged into the main, into the high voltage network. So if I put that there, if my calculations are correct, it should just work. It should fit perfectly. Nope, it's one square too high. Oh, for goodness sake. Right, okay. Take that back out again then. Oh dear. Alright, and take out all of this. From there to there. And also, more upsettingly, I need to take out from there to there. Guess I'm going to do it by my bots. Actually, I could help them out. If I set this over to the 5x5 and zap somewhere like that, then I can take out sort of 25 at a time, and then use the bots to sort of tidy up the gaps between them. So this is probably going to be the quickest way to get rid of large areas. And then, as I say, let the bots do the tidying up and taking out the, sort of the little gaps that I'm semi-deliberately missing, just because it's easier to zap somewhere than to and not worry too much about exactly where I'm shooting. I sound American. Yeah, just take out big chunks of it like this, and we can go over there in a second. And yeah, la 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 la. Nearly there. Then I can put that robot. Then I can put that spaceport back in. Come on. Oh. Oh right. Yes, because that's where I knocked a hole in the ground. Are you telling me the a ship has now come over just in time to get the last few bits and take all the glory? Of course you are. Right. So let's try that again. So from here to 31 by 27. Boink. Right. And then hopefully I can now find my landing pad. I can put that in here like so, and everything should line up perfectly, except it doesn't, of course. I've got it in the wrong place. For goodness sake. Can I? Yeah. Just pick it up again. I know it takes a while, but we'll do it the slow way, because trying to use the automated tool, which should have been faster, didn't seem to want to work. Right, let's place that again. It's really hard to tell where I'm putting it. So I want to go there, but there. Oh! Yes, there we go. It's linked up, and the robots have moved in a little bit further. Now I need to program it, which I can do from down here. So actually, it's quite a good thing I left a bit of a gap here, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to get to it. So configure the shipping pad. I want to go from space station to the factory, and we are taking mining robots. That guy. Confirm. And yeah, just use whatever ship, and take a. Don't ever take anything less than a full ship, because there's no point. Right, and in they go. Lovely. The system is kind of working. And yep, zap, 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 weld, 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 paint, 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 spray, spray, spray. Let us spray. Right, Good. That is another robot type being made. Awesome. And well, we've got enough. We've got enough supply coming along here to fill a spaceship and probably to mostly fill the internal buffer of the spaceport up. And then we'll start to make them a little bit more slowly, and we'll see if we can see how we're hanging on. So you can see over here we've got a robot here waiting for all of his limbs really. But eventually, there we go. There's a leg. So now you can trundle onto here. Or you can be given another leg, and we're clipping some camera clipping errors. Whack an arm on. So yeah, actually, in theory, if you've got the supplies, then they will make the robots just don't stop moving. They just trundle gently along the assembly line, and get whatever bit fitted or zap or weld done as required without stopping. That's really cool. There's just no way I'm going to have the parts throughput for that at the rate we're going over here. Oh, some of these guys haven't even got their heads. But yeah, so we should now find that all these machines should be working constantly. Yeah, all these machines should be working constantly. We're just going to have a little bit of a shortage of legs, apparently, is the limiting factor on production. I'm slightly surprised. I was expecting it to be arms, because I don't think I'm making the drills quite fast enough for the arms to be made at quite the rate they're supposed to be. But, oh well. What are you doing? Oh, this machine's not making legs. That's why... Okay, there's an inserter missing. That's why we're very short of legs. So if I do that, then we'll be making legs twice as quickly. And legs will still be the limiting factor because it's already got a bit of a shortage down here. But we'll at least be making them twice as quickly. Okay, so that's that. We're now making mining robots. So that means it's now time to have another quick chat with the station. And another look at the map. And, well... Can I just turn on mining? I still don't entirely understand. These filters just don't seem to work. If I zoom in far enough, then you can sometimes... Oh, it hides the... Yeah, it hides the filters. So, that's really helpful. Okay, I have worked out what some of the icons mean, though. So, this icon here... I believe is my icon. So if I look at Salaxian and the market share, I am the leader in market share over here. I have 100% of it apparently. Ororox does not has a different symbol on it. So does that mean Smart Systems are still the market leader here for some reason? I'm not sure why. Oh, because I'm not supplying them with the aquatic hauling bots. That's probably why. So yeah, they're not getting everything they need from me. And Zorathix similarly we can now start sending them mining robots. Boom, like that. Which is going to help quite a lot. Yeah, so that's going. So now, hopefully, I can get to the point where on Zorathix we're going to be the main supplier. We're going to have 100% market penetration with any luck. Farmer bots, no. Mining robots. Okay, so we can go in and tweak this one. Boop. Save. What do you need? No, I don't really make many of those. We won't bother with that one just now. So that's all. So yeah, that's all the ones out on this wing. Gone up here. Nope. 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 I feel this part of the game I feel needs some additional work to make it easier to everything. I've done that one. Because this is a little slow and frustrating. And a little bit hard to concentrate on talking about other things while I'm doing it as well. So this is an area that I feel definitely needs some improvement in the game. I also feel like there's going to be some... this whole area, this whole part of the game, I think probably needs some sort of tweaks and improvements because it's a bit weird, and I sort of understand what they're going for with the whole system here, and it kind of works, but it's a bit too... I feel like it's a bit too open-ended. There are too many different planets, and you almost just want to have the main general market rather than having all of the individual all of the individual planets that you do individually. Why not just have everything being sold on the general galactic market, and maybe have the demand go up and down or something like that? I'm not sure, but it. Yeah, exactly. Yes, it doesn't. Yes, that's a very good point. It also doesn't feel like part of the rest of the game. All of the space station stuff feels very, very tacked on and just sort of weird and different, and yeah, nothing to do with the rest of the factory game. If it was just if it was just sending stuff off to space and you got money for it, and maybe there was an interface to tell you what sort of things there was demand for, then maybe that could be quite good. But in general, it's a little bit of a weirdness, and I'm not sure I'm a huge fan. Okay, so we need to make transport bots faster because we've had some dips in the actual proper sales up there, so that's interesting to see. Heavy duty ones, maybe. If that's fine, that's become fine. Light bots we could do with more of. Snack bots, absolutely more of. So that's snack, light, and transport. Let's go and look at those now. Snack bots are they're really new. They're coming out about here. Is it you? No, you're a cleaning bot. Is it you? Are you a snack? Or do I make snacks first? I don't remember. There we go, there are snacks. Right, so we're not making them quite as quickly as I would like. Oh, it's because there's a shortage of mechanical components coming in. Right, so first thing I'm going to do with this is I'm going to upgrade all these belts to yellow. Now, I don't think that's the problem. I think it's going to be a production problem rather than a transport problem. But I want to upgrade the belts anyway, just to be sure. I hope it's not an iron supply problem. That would be annoying. Oh, I've run out of belts. Ugh. So we can get some more belts and get some more jetpack fuel as well. It's not quite at that point, Sophia. No, there are still a number of different types of bots for me to still make. So it's not quite at the just expanding things out stage yet. I think when I get to that stage, I'm probably going to go, I think I finished this game now. But there's still sort of 4 or 5 more robot types to make, I think. I've got plenty of splitters. There's still a few more robot types to make. So that's still going to be sort of slightly new stuff. I don't think there's nothing that's completely new at this point, at least until the updates come out. But I believe but there are more different types of robot I can be making, which will increase interest to an extent. Even if it's going to be somewhat more of the same sort of thing, but it is going to at least be slightly different versions of the same sort of thing. So I shouldn't have done that. So yeah, there is a bit more content in the game, but not an enormous amount. I think a lot of it is going to be more or less the same thing. Okay, so I've managed to speed this up. We only have 2 machines making these mechanical components. No wonder there's a shortage of them, especially as there's quite a lot of stuff taking them. So let's start off by upgrading the assembly machines to assembly machine 3s, which is only going to give me a relatively small increase, but it's a start, and I've got more of these, so I can copy and paste it more effectively. Then, well, me saying copy and paste it was a bit of a clue. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do I'm going to select an area. I'm going to select from there to it's only to there. Okay, interesting. Yes, there. Yes, there. Up to about there. How much faster should we make this, boys and girls? I mean, I could easily make it ludicrously faster, but there's not that much more capacity available on that belt, so let's only make it 3 times as fast. And I think that's going to be overkill, and I should probably then put in upgrade it to green belts as well. So we'll just confirm that there. And then we'll also start to worry about the irons coming in. Actually, the green belt there is running jerkily, so we clearly have enough iron available. There's lots pouring through here. And there we go, we've now got, I would say that's a full yellow belt of those leaving. So there's a lot of them going up here. So what I'm going to do is upgrade that belt to yellow. Then I'm going to update this belt to green and also this splitter to green. So then we've got green on the first part of it, which is actually now is outperforming the... we don't have that many of them. So I guess if I'm upgrading like this, I should upgrade that to green as well. Take a lot of iron in there. As you can see, it's flowing in there at a crazy rate and then all coming up this way, but that's fine because we don't seem to need very much further down the bus. So yeah, pulling it all through like that is actually okay. So we're now making decent whack of the mechanical components. Quite a lot of them are going up here. That's fine because there's still lots going off down here. Now I guess I sort of follow this and find out how far it goes before it starts to become sparse again, because there are a few places along here that are taking some of them. But I think this should be significantly better. I've gone past the snack bots. Then we can come in here, and yes, here's the snack bots. They're now being hopefully produced a bit more quickly. Yeah, that belt is now actually full. Maybe I'll upgrade that as well, because, you know, why not? Oh, well, there we go. The machines are full on their inputs as well. So now we're limited by the number of machines there are here. So that's probably going to be okay. Okay, so the next one was same grain different. Oh yes, definitely. I fully agree, Sophia, that you need to have a sustained sync on your production. I absolutely agree there. And in Factorio, that's performed by Infinite Sciences. In this, it's performed by Infinite Marketplaces for robots. I have no complaints about there being an infinite sync for the robots you build. That I absolutely agree is a good thing and how it should be. What I'm disagreeing with a little bit is the way that you have to manage, sort of almost manually manage where they're being sold to through the interface. You guys are light bots, aren't you? How are we? This is full. Have I not got enough ships doing the ground upward, taking the bots up? What I don't agree with is this system for managing where you're selling them to. I would rather... I mean, and to be fair, I've been saying that I don't need the money. What I could do is just go into the space station and do the sales platform and just sell everything through here and not bother with selling them in the other ways that you can. But it feels like I should. But I feel like because there is a better system available, a more profitable way of selling them available, I feel like I should use the more profitable one. But to be fair, I could just throw them all at the sales platform and let the sales platform deal with everything and sell everything from here at the cheaper rates. Not make quite as much money, but then also not have to deal with all of the faff of the interstellar transport. So, yeah, also true. Well, yes, you could have a thing where maybe there's a research you do, or there's an unlock you get, perhaps from the station upgrades, where you expand out into certain sectors, and you say, well, I think I'm going to have a load of mining robots available now, so I want to expand into a new mining sector, or something like that. So rather than going out and picking planets, you just do a thing, and the market expands in that direction. There are lots of different ways of it could be done, and they've picked one of them, and to be honest, it's not too onerous. I think the worst thing about it is the fact that there is a finite but enormous galaxy that you can sell into. Almost makes you feel that the end game is to be satisfying every single planet out there, which is unrealistic. Which I feel is unrealistic. There are too many of them. My brain would melt. I get frustrated, and also. And even if I sort of took the options of just buying all the resources from space in order to make them, I think I'd still feel that going out, setting up the trade routes to all of these planets would be rather onerous. And there is a supply and demand thing. So the higher the more you can charge more. So for example, if I reckoned I didn't have enough planter drones, I could put the price up by 50%, and then we'd only have an hourly demand of 666. Or if I keep it at regular price, then there's an hourly demand of 2,000. So you have a little bit of control there over how many you're selling. The supply and demand could work the other way round, though. It could tell you that because of oversaturation of the vacuum bot market, the prices come down a bit, or something like that. I couldn't tell you, Peter, but if it looks like it's been copied directly from Stellaris, then that would make a certain amount of sense and would explain why it looks just like that. So, light bots. We have had shortages of those, despite the fact that I've got many of them being made. I think we've run out of upward shipping capacity. So I'm going to buy some more ships, and I'm going to buy some of these ones. I'm going to buy 4 more of them, and I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom of the list, and I'm going to tell these guys to do planetary shipping. Another criticism I have of this game is I don't know how busy my planetary shipping ships are, and I'm not aware of a way to check. So I've got quite a lot of ships now doing planetary shipping. Boom, all of these ones. These are all bringing resources from the ground to my station, or possibly in the case of the medium cargo ship here, this one's taking thermalite from the station down to the ground. But I can't tell how busy they are, and I don't think there's a way for me to find out, other than sort of going back and forth and looking in storage and going, okay, we don't have very many light bots, but we have loads on the ground. Why aren't they being brought up? Oh, I hear a ship doing ship-related things. So I feel that there's some problems there, but then, you know, early access, yada yada yada. I'm providing criticisms in a sort of hopefully constructively, rather than going in and going, nope, that's rubbish. So hopefully doing that will sort out my lightbot problems. The next one was the transport bot, which we just don't seem to have any of. So let's go and have a look at that one, and then come back to the station and see what's going on there. Right, so there we go. So a ship has landed now, and the light bots are being pumped in. So maybe all those getting those extra ships has actually sorted the problem out. So here are the heavy bots, but they weren't the ones that were the problem. It was the light ones, and they were the first ones I made. So they're sort of kind of in with the rest of the system of it. Yeah, and they're being pumped in at quite a rate as well, and the ship's just taking off with them. So I think the reason I was having problems was due to a lack of ship capacity, not a lack of bot production capacity. We'll find out whether that's true or not in about sort of half an hour or something like that. I don't know, but we shall see. Yeah, it would be quite nice to be able to catch a ship up to the station and just have a look and just wander around. I don't know I can't imagine that being remotely useful, although it'd be good fun if you got to fire the orbital laser manually, and just you could see a tiny little factory down below you and just go choop, 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 at the mountains. That'd be fun. But I'd probably miss and blow up half my factory by mistake, and then I'd be very sad. Right. So what's going on? What's going on? What's next? So at this point, I am not aware of any supply shortages. Let's have a look at the green circuits, because that was something I was messing around with earlier because we had a shortage. I reckon I've fixed it because I've built a lot more. Yeah, the plane is here and unloading, and the box is full. That's a good sign. So I think green circuit supply is now okay. The plane is still only slightly less than half full. So yeah, there is a plentiful supply of green circuits now. That problem, tick, solved that one. I should check that the plastic being taken out there is also in a similarly good position. The plane isn't here, which is a good sign. And the box, flying like a drunkard, box is also full. So yes, I think green circuits and all that sail within them are now a sorted problem. Okay, Peter. Well, yep, good night then, and hopefully I'll be able to distract myself by trains in this game within the next sort of month or two, because I am really rather looking forward to that. I want to turn my underground tunnel system into an underground railway system, because I think that's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of is the obvious next step to go to with this game. Right, let's set some more mining going over here before I work out what I want to do next, because that is, I seem to have got the wrong ground level over here as well, so that's going to need a spot of fixing. And then once I've done this, I can work out what I want to do next, I suppose. So we'll go from there. No, we won't. We'll go from there, zoop, to there. Just take out that bit. No, let's not do it personally. I've got enough trash in my inventory already. Right, you. I want you to go back to, how far back was this? This was 35, okay. So I want to go 35. By 30, yeah, that'll do. And then up as high as it'll let me, which is going to be a height of 37 or 38. No, it won't let me do 38. 37. There we go. And then again, so 35 by 35 by 35. So basically, I just want to do cubes 35 by 35 by 35. Oh, except this is slightly different because it didn't go quite as far that way. So 35 by 35 by 24 seems to be enough to get out to the top of the mountain. Right, that's going to keep the drones busy. And I'm going to need to take another bite out of this one in order to be able to put in my spaceports when I start making my next type of drones. So let's do another one. Have I maxed out the area I can build? I can set... No, I haven't. I don't know what was going on there. Maybe I've... No, I have got the top of that. I don't know what happened then. $35 by 30, sure, 36, why not? By 35. Yes. Oh. Well, I suppose I could blow that up. No, I couldn't. Ah, that was a mistake. Damn it. I thought that was going to be far enough away, but no. But no. Oh well. At least it wasn't anything too expensive. The most annoying part of that is that I now have to clean these up with my laser. There we go. Oops. That's quite a big hole actually from that explosion. I wasn't expecting it to be quite that big, I guess. Right, let's try that again. So with this, I want to go. I want to go from there to there. 35 by 30. Whoop. 35 by... Can we get to the top of the mountain, please? No. Jeez, this is going to be a big one. Alright. At least the mountain this seems to be the top of the mountain. At least it's now starting to get gradually smaller, albeit quite gradually. So yeah, in hindsight, this was not the best way to build out my my factory. I should have gone in basically any other direction. But when I started building this, I didn't realise quite how much of the problem this mountain was going. In fact, actually, I think when I started building this, I don't think we had any of these excavation tools. I was doing all of the digging by hand with a hand laser and the explosives. And so I thought, well, that's fine. I'll just make a sort of a cave when I get over to here, and just dig a cave. Of course, then the spaceships wouldn't be able to take off, and also I was going to say I wouldn't be able to use these guys to help dig, but possibly I would be. It would just look ridiculous because they'd phase through the ceilings. I'm not sure. Either way, it's would be a bit silly. But the deconstruction is coming along quite nicely. We now have some more building space over here, and also hopefully by the time I've built anything here and I'm ready to put in my next space station, spaceport, some of this will be gone as well. Now I don't think it will be. I think this is going to be lagging quite a long way behind, and maybe I should do something like look into the shaped charges I've just researched, or I'm about to research possibly. Or perhaps just play with the orbital laser a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe when the mining ships go away, I'll play with the orbital laser. How is research going? There's the shape charge. So research is taking quite a long time because these are big researchers. Yeah, I've got shape charges in development. I'll get those sooner or later. Yeah. So I'll get that eventually. Oh, actually, no, I have the shape charge. I just don't have the heavy shaped charge. Well, we'll get that sooner or later. To focus the self-destruction. Yes, okay, thank you very much. Right, so let's make one of the little bots next, because we've done a big one, and that was quite an effort. So let's do a little one now, because it's getting a little bit late. So, what's next in the list? What have we not? I'm not done yet. I have no idea. Oh, these guys. The science assistant drones have not been done yet. So plastic, machinery parts, which we've just boosted production of, circuit boards, hover engines, energy cells. Easy. So I was going to leave. So I was told I wanted. It meant to be. I meant to do 15 for these, wasn't I? So 11 is the absolute minimum. 15 will be a much more sensible number. All right, let's go a little bit further back as well. And I think, yes, I'm going to do a little bit of manual indigging here, like this. Just to open up a bit of space, because, yes, I do feel that leaving a little bit of space between my builds is a sensible idea. And I might not do sensible ideas very often, but occasionally I can convince myself. So, gap of 2, 1, 2, 3 belts, inserter. So that goes there. So you are going to be making a science Duzumi body, science assistant drone, that guy. Like so. And you are going to need plastic, machinery parts, green circuits, hover engines, energy cells. Let's do the energy cells first because they're right here. Actually, no, let's do the mechanical components because they're even closer. You see, now this is where it's very, very tempting to build this closer because then I could just share this same belt. In fact, let's do that. What's the worst that could happen? This is a relatively easy build, so I don't think I need to leave a huge amount of space, really. So let's put that there. And see if I can cause myself to suffer later on. You all like a bit of hubris and future Laurence suffering for the actions of past Laurence, don't you? So we'll do that. Then we can bring this along here like so, and we want the belt to be here. So that means the ramp needs to be here and here, and then the splitter needs to be here and here. So that goes there. Then we grab that and we go. Which side do you go on that side? That's the difficult side, isn't it? Yes, it is. So we switch over to the free place mode, and then we go, I think there? Yes, spot on. I'm getting good at this. Well, mediocre at this, which is a step in the right direction. So it's there, and then we feed the belt in there, like that. Okay, what's next? Why are you not configured? Oh, because I moved you. Fine. Plastic, green circuits, and hover engines. But green circuits are all the way over there. Plastic is even further. I've seen hover engines recently, I'm sure. I think they're closer. What are you hover engines? They look about right, but I don't recognise them. No, that's an empty barrel. That explains why it didn't look quite right. Hover engine. Ooh, there are the hover engines. Right, okay, so that's a good one to put in next then. And I've probably got a load of red belt for this. So I might as well use it up and then come back and upgrade it all later when I realise that was a mistake. Wow, I've got a lot of red belt. Okay, so that comes to here. Ramp, splitter, so it goes to there. And then do I have it? I've probably even got red splitters as well, actually. Yes, I have 4 of them. So put one of you in. No, don't press the wrong buttons, Laurence. Right, one of you goes, so that must be a, yes, that goes there. Then ramp. Then more red belt, because why not? There's no point in putting yellow belt at the end of a red belt, is there? So we'll do that like so. It's going to cause havoc when I try and copy and paste this build, but never mind. Alright, so that's my hover motors. Then it was green circuits and plastic. And green circuits are the first one to get. So pull you from... It's not an invalid copy target, but work over a longer distance. Right, so that needs to come across here. So we've got ramp, splitter, so built to there. And this side. This one's on up because we've moved to the other side of the... We're on the lower tier of the... what do you call it? And that goes from there all the way over there, like so. And then I go, oh bugger, the plastic isn't going to be able to get in because the drones haven't destroyed enough of the mountain yet. But still, we'll build as much of it as we can. How far can I get before I run out of red belts? Quite a long way. This far in fact, and then I've basically run out of them. Fine. You know what? I'm going to do this with the laser because actually I could just do it with my bots. Let's just pull up some random rock from around here. So I want to come all the way across to about here, and then through. The nice thing about this whole sort of bus system that I've got running, and the reason that I build in this style, is that is that you can, once you've got all the basic bits and pieces you need for whatever it is you're doing, it's really, really quick and easy to build up another thing, whatever that thing is. So in this case, because all the bots have relatively similar recipes, you can have all the parts being made, and then because they're all available on the bus, just pull them all in like this, and boom, in very little time, you've got an entire another type of robot being made. And maybe with a bit more sort of common sense and thinking about things properly, I could have my oh, I need the medium one as well. I could do the same with the full-size robots, especially now that I've done it twice and kind of got it wrong both times, but also kind of not, because I've just sort of said, well, this is the speed we're going to go for then. Why is this belt empty? Why, oh, why, oh, why is this belt empty? Why have we not got any robot components? Why have we only got 2 robot components? Okay, so they're being made over here. What are you short of? You are short of this belt, which is... oh, thermalite plates. Okay. That's an interesting one. We'll go and burn that hill when we come to it. So, we'll go and look at that in a moment. Right, so over here, this is now, should be fully capable of making science thingamy drones, at least if we get anything, any of whatever this is supposed to be coming through. Excuse me. Oh. What's happening in here? Whatever it is, I don't like it. This was supposed to be hover engines. Your ammunition. Your hover motors. I've extended the wrong belt. For goodness sake. Okay then, well let's try that again, but with the right belt this time. And it's sort of harmless in that it doesn't matter exactly what order you bring resources in. No, it doesn't matter if I extend a belt that I shouldn't have done. There's nothing useful going to come from here, of course, but that's not necessarily an actual problem. So I now need to put in one of these. No, I don't. Oh no, it's even better. I need to put in one of those. If I can find the darn things. There we go. That goes there. So actually that's really, really easy. Really simple fix. There's no ammunition or whatever it was coming along here, but that's kind of okay. I might remove this belt actually. Just because otherwise it's going to really confuse me in the future. And I'm easily confused enough as it is. So somewhere in here things went wrong. That's probably enough to be... Oh, I could go and tidy up a little bit more, I suppose. What is going... Oh, I see what's happened here. I think. I can't quite tell because I can't get into quite the right place. But... No, for some reason there's a ramp here. What? And here as well. Going over just a couple of pieces of belt on the floor. Okay. Don't need weapon components. Don't need a little bit of iron. There we go. There's a bit of space now. So I can remove that, and that, and that, and that. And then link that. No, link that through there. So there's my thermalite plates. The ones I was very, very short of. Has this been broken somewhere? Because... Yes, it had. These are the ones. No, sorry, these are the ones I was short of for the robot parts. Oh, okay. No, it's just they're all being taken, and that's further downstream. Okay, fine. Right, so I've got a little bit off my own topic there, but I think that now means I've got the hover motors coming along here. So hopefully they'll reach the end of here at some point. Can't have got the wrong belt again, can I? No, I think it's not coming through. Yeah, it's another one of those ramps to nowhere that's happened here. So what it looks like is there's a load of red belts across the middle here. And so when I tried to drag belts through, they ended up linking to... They ended up trying to go over the belts that were on the floor here, and then that caused them to collide with bits and pieces of the belts coming through here, and so they didn't get pushed all the way across. So now I think I've tidied that up, and it shouldn't happen again because all the pieces of random pieces of red belt across here have gone. So fingers crossed, that's all sorted now. Oh dear. But yeah, those do seem to be getting to the end now, and then, yep, here we go. There's a few of them coming up here. You know what? It looks weird and wrong to have that being slow here. Let's upgrade that and upgrade that. There we go. That's how it should be. Now this machine's working. Good. So that means that is now functional. So that means I can make multiple. No, not from there. Multiple. Stop it. Make multiple copies of this. So we need to go all the way across to here, and then up to here. Then copy and place, and 5 is probably enough. It's hard to know, but 5 is certainly a number. Right, and now we can let that run. It'll fill up. They'll fill up all their internal buffers, but I'm not going to be able to put the spaceport in until the bots have done have finished off over here. So let's go and have a quick look at the thermalite, because that is causing problems. Because you see there's a little dribble of it coming through. It's not even a full red belt, and that's causing us to not be able to make enough of the robot parts that we need. So we can see that's the rate. That's just the rate that it's coming out of this elevator. Now let's just in case, let's upgrade the elevator in case that's the problem. Although it is a yellow one, so it probably isn't. Let's upgrade both of them, in fact. Well, that's given us a flurry of extra ones, but my concern is that's just emptying the internal buffer of the elevator, and we're not actually going to get any more coming up from down below. Or it's going to stop coming through as quickly in a moment. Because I don't know if we're feeding. Because yeah, a yellow elevator is definitely capable of doing 2 yellow belts worth, and I don't think we had more than that. So I reckon this might just be the elevator emptying what it's got already loaded up into it, because it now moves faster. So I think I'm going to head down in the lift and have a look at what's going on down there. I mean, it's still coming, but this is a long elevator, which is why it's taking, oh, there we go, quite so long for the passenger elevator to arrive. I want to go to the thermalite squashing. Goodbye, surface world. Junk. Hey, you can see the freight elevator through the side of the passenger elevator. Thank you for travelling, Laurence elevators. Right, down here. Actually, there is a full yellow belt going in here. I'm going to upgrade, on general principles, I'm going to upgrade this to a green belt, and then I'm going to follow it back, because I haven't been down here for a very long time. So it feels quite likely to me that this system, well, clearly this system is running on very old belt tech levels. There's red belts and around or all over the place. So I'm just going to upgrade everything to green, because I might as well, and then see if that feels like there is a suitable amount coming in and out. Just to do some general upgrading around here. I know there's a splitter there that's going to need to be upgraded. Boink, like that. Now I suspect I don't actually need to upgrade all of these to green belts, because the ones right out at the end like these, it doesn't really matter. They're not going to be running at full speed. Ooh, mining efficiency, nice. But, you know, if I make everything a green belt, then there shouldn't be any problems. So presumably this is now... Oh, I see. So because, yeah, beforehand the belts were far too slow, and so now we're emptying out some of the internal buffers of these machines. So you can see there's massive gaps coming in here, but we're able to fill them up again really effectively from the internal buffers. So upgrading this to green is definitely going to have helped quite a lot. We're going to be able to actually pull out all of, well, a lot more of what we're making. Then over here, well, I'm doing side merging. It doesn't matter because I don't care where. Actually, it does matter. when you side merge like this, yeah, you get gaps in it. So actually, this does need to be done properly. So I'm going to pull out that and that and that and that, and then I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to then use a real merger like that, and then back to the up ramp there, and then we go. So now this should always be a full belt coming through here, and also we'll equalize the priority between these two as well, which is is it a good thing? I don't think it actually matters. As long as a full belt is coming out, I don't really care whether it comes from this side or this side. It's kind of immaterial. So, but anyway, this can then flow down here, as you can see. Nice healthy amount flowing through, and we're pumping it into here at full green belt rate, and it is all going in. Have I just run out of fuel? I have just run out of fuel. That's embarrassing, especially as I talked about going and getting some more a little bit earlier. And I can't get out to the squash plate. Oh no, I've fallen in. That was dumb. Oh, it's alright, I've got stairs. Right, I can't realistically get over there at the moment. But, however, as long as I've got a green belt of plate going in here, I think we're probably alright. So, let's go back up again. And have a look on the surface, see how things are going now that I've fixed the bottleneck down here. Bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum 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 bum. Started that a little bit too low and didn't run out of range. I usually have the opposite problem where I sort of try and sing according to the music and then realise that because I'm a bass rather than a tenor, I can't hit any of the notes that are written in the score. But oh well, never mind. Ding! Right, first things first, let's go and get some more fuel, which is over here. Conveniently, I ran out of fuel in the middle of my factory, albeit a long way underground. So I can just come over here and go, yoink. If I'd run out while I was over in the green circuit production area, it would have been a long walk to get back. Right, so how's the thermalite firming? Have I firmed up the supply? Alright, well we do have a solid belt coming out here, and a little dribble coming out here, so that's good. I may upgrade this to a green belt, or I may actually just come along to here and upgrade this bit to a yellow belt. Oh, I see, half of it's going out here, is it? To be made into construction material. Right, okay, so that probably doesn't need to be a yellow belt unless I make this into a green belt. And if I make this into a green belt, probably not going to have enough input unless I go down there and start upgrading everything to blue belts, but maybe I will do that anyway. Now this is stoppy starting, so we now seem to have enough thermalite. Either that or it's all just going on to a red belt somewhere further down the chain, and yeah, like this, and therefore not being visibly, not showing up where the problems are. Oh sweet, I actually used a yellow splitter even though it was a red belt for ease of future upgrades. That's unusually forward planning-y. Or maybe that's just what I happen to have. Who knows? A couple of upgrades in there. And while I'm at it, you know what? Let's make that a yellow belt as well, which means I need to keep following it to here. Make that a yellow splitter. That's a carry on. If I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it all the way along. And then we have thermalite coming along, la 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 la. Right, and now it is all yellow. Okay, so now we actually have enough thermalite. Oh, hang on, it wasn't here that was the problem. It was back up here somewhere where we're making these guys, the robot parts. That was where we had a shortage of thermalite. And now we do seem to have, well, we have a full red belt going in, and some of the machines have kicked in. All right, let's yellow you as well, just to do the best we can with what we've got. Make sure we can pump it all in here. There's not very much though, is there? This thermalite we are ripping through the thermalite. Is that a supply problem? No, the belt seems fairly full back here. Maybe I just need to. Maybe I do need green belts all the way along here, and then go down and sort out the supply at the bottom. I kind of think I do, which is a shame, but oh well. Especially as I've just flown along doing all the upgrades to yellow. This is probably a lesson I should learn. What? Why is there a yellow one? Oh, I've run out of greens. This is probably a lesson I should learn, that there's no point in doing half-assed updates. So I suppose that means, in theory, I should be upgrading everything to blue, but I don't think I can afford the blue belts for that. Green belts are still sort of decently affordable. The blue belts, I mean, I'm making them one machine at a time, but they take in expensive stuff like Rubber and pistons, actually. It's not that bad. Let's take some of those. I don't know. I am unsure. But I do want to carry on upgrading this belt to green. Because, now we've run out from what's coming up from the ground, up from underground. So I guess that means I need to go back down and have a look at that. Maybe find that machine you were talking about. Maybe upgrade the belts to blue and see what we find. Back down again. And maybe I'll probably need to put in more of the machines to do these, to squash the plates, but we'll work that one out in a moment. Bam 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 bam. Bam ba 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 bam ba 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 bam. I know we played that on the way down last time. I should think of something else. Bam bam bam. Right, we're at the bottom. Okay, so the green belt is not coming through full, so that's not a huge surprise, but it does mean that this system is not running as quickly as we would ideally like. Basically, this means I've come in and I've drained out all of the overproduction that we've made from the last however long. So, yeah, the squashing was quite slow. You are right. Squashing machine at the end was red. What squashing machine at the end was red? There might have been one that's still on red belts, I guess. Is that what you mean? Oh, there. There's a red splatter there. Okay, let's upgrade that. Might as well. No harm in it. But yes, it is quite a slow process because Thermalite is presumably meant to be really, really strong stuff, so it takes quite a long time, and we get 10 a minute. But then a green belt is 640 a minute, so we need 64 of these machines to fill that green belt. And we have... Am I actually going to go through and count them? I think I might be going to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I need another 44 of these if I want to actually fill that green belt. Do I actually want to fill this green belt? Oh, that's a good point. Can I dig through the hard rock? That's a very good question. Yes, turns out. So I could actually smash... Can I destroy this and make more lava? No. So I can get rid of the pillars, which will make it a little bit easier to run belts and things through. But I can't discover more lava. The lava that we see is the lava that we've got. Now there is a lot of it, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But I may end up having to just run belts snaking back and forth to find the nice chunky lava patches and get all the squashing I need. Can I explode the hard rocks? Yes, but not the bedrock. Boom. There we go. So the whole place is held up by this one piece of rock here now. I'm not quite sure why I've still got explosives. I don't really use them very much anymore, but apparently I'm still carrying 46 of them around with me and I've never thrown them away. Okay, so right, it is 20 past 11. So I think what I'm going to say for today is we're going to call this at the end of the stream. So I've made another type of rocket. I've solved a load of shortages. I've got the copper up and running at ludicrous speeds. So all that's gone really quite well. Oh, and I made another couple of types of bot and got them shipped up to space and yada yada yada. So those sort of things seem to be going quite well. If we have a look at the space station, if we have a look at the space station and the finances tab again, we can see that now the transport bots, they're starting to get sold again. Maybe not quite as quickly as ideal, but we haven't had any of these gaps in there at least, so that's probably okay. And that was just by putting in more spaceships to take stuff up to space. So, yeah, we just needed more launch capacity, it seems. I should probably at some point go through and check whether I'm actually making these things fast enough or whether I could increase that. But now, does that mean everything is both hunky and dory? Seems like, there's some gaps in there. The minor robots. We've only just got started making those though, so maybe that's why we might have. Oh no, we're probably having trouble making those because we don't have enough robot parts. That'll be the problem. Then over here, that one's fine. That one's also having the same issues, I guess. Robot parts, science assistant drones. We've started making those, but we haven't actually started selling them. So fine. Military combat drone. Yeah, that's okay. That's slightly well, we're not making those. So yeah, that's all going reasonably well, or at least will be once I've upgraded the amount of thermalite we're squashing and can make the robot parts a bit faster. So some good progress there, I think. Next time I shall, yes, improve the thermalite and then probably make another type of robot and maybe another type of drone as well, and carry on with some of the researches. So there are still some more types of robot I can research, and then I think these symbols, do these mean these are infinite researches? I'm not sure. Oh no, does that mean they're in the queue? Oh yeah, this is mining efficiency 8, pumping efficiency 5, and so yeah, I reckon these are infinite researches, so I can just keep doing these for as long as I want. So next up we'll probably enqueue. I can't enqueue them by double clicking them, so we'll have a few more of these. Yeah, okay. So the arrow symbols mean. I interrupted my sneeze by going to mute the microphone, so I didn't sneeze. Right, so these are going to be a little bit harder, I think. The aquatic ones, I think there's some extra bits and pieces I have to make for them, but it's some extra stuff to do, so we'll get those researched. And then we'll be basically there. I've done all the researches, and at that point I go, well, do I carry on? Probably not. At that point I'll go and play something else for a bit, and then when the update... But keep an eye on this, and as the updates come out, I'll play through those as well. Right, so speaking of other things, what else is going on the channel? Well, there'll be videos coming out tomorrow and Friday. That'll be a Factorio Planetary Pioneers update and an interview with the creator of Igris, and that's going to be true. Actually, that's going to be true whether you're a supporter or not, because there's 2 of each of those, and the supporters will see next week. No, and the non-supporters will see last week. And you know how it is. Supporters get early access to say thank you. I'll then be back again on Monday with the rest of the gang for some more Planetary Pioneers. We are still on Castor at the moment, and dealing with the sort of the fighty side of it a little bit. I suspect it's going to get more crazy, but we'll see how it goes. So we're looking forward to that. So yeah, come back and join us on Monday, and I'll be back on next Wednesday as well for some more Foundry, where we shall get some more of these robot types built, I expect. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. If you're watching on Twitch, please hang around, because we'll be going off to find somebody to raid. But if you're on YouTube, then, well, either jump onto Twitch or come over to Discord and say hi, and we'll see you another time. So thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, my man Regular, and everyone else who's around. Right, let's go and let's hit the end screen, which is that one, and then go and find somebody to raid. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and let's see if there's anybody else actually playing Foundry. It's not as popular a game as Factorio, so there's sometimes I do manage to find somebody else playing it, which is quite nice. Foundry, shouty Foundry. It's in caps for some reason. Nope, nobody playing Foundry. That's a shame. So what about people I'm following? Is anyone playing perhaps some... so Minecraft or Noita? What do you think, guys? Cyclomatic is playing... Actually, Cyclomatic raided me on Monday, so let's go and see him. Right, once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, he says slowly while he waits for the 5-second count, 10-second countdown for the raid to actually finish counting down. And there we go. Right, if you're still watching, there's not going to be anything else